5 slash
It is
6.
also it's much similar to the Pokeball thing we just looked at. It is what would all the Pokemon look like with tits is the question being asked and answered here.
Take Adeline to say.
The stars of stage and screen are all out tonight. Twinkling Creed, Brad, and Sparkling Jared Dunn. Dancing Cindy Chundendellers and fretting Harmony, Kendall and Tills. Yep, they're all at. Change the tune, yeah, the stars are all lit tonight. Stars like Philip Jeffries falling drunk out of this dimension. Stars of stage and screen are all out tonight. Twinkling Jonah, sparkling Loretta Brown, dancing Bobby the barman and fretting Black Phillips. The stars of stage and screen are all out tonight. Twinkling Feathers, McGraw, sparkling Council of Maud, dancing Maggie, Roswell's fretting Heracross. Stars of stage and screen are all out tonight. Twinkling 26126226 is sparkling 156141 is dancing Peeps and fretting Kieran's. My good God, stars like Undetermined falling drunk into this cast. The stars of stage and screen are all out tonight. Twinkling, sparkling, dancing, fretting, and they're all out tonight.
That's perfect. How in the hell did you get Suno to do that style?
Because I just gave it the song and
Yeah.
then changed a couple of the lyrics.
Yeah, that literally you must have had it do like 100% accurate reconstruction, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think maybe only like 75 actually.
That's brilliant. It's actually got tape hissing. That literally sounds like a Daniel Johnson song.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Perfect.
You can sort of hear hints of it might not be that version, but there's a version of it where you can kind of hear that it is just changing your voice.
Yeah, it's kind of like, let's just up the fidelity by like 10%, and then let's just make everything 10% neater and tidier, but it's still clearly completely unhinged, which is perfect.
And then rastify it by a further 10%.
Exactly, perfect. Beautiful, love it. All right, would you let's do the song. Would you rather say the name? Would you rather say Stars of Stage and Screen or the name and the star? Would you? I'm changing the way. Would you rather say Stars of Stage and Screen and the name of the character, or would you rather say the fact?
Which would you rather say? I've never given you the option.
I always like it when you say the fact.
Deal. I also
Stars
like that.
of Stage and Screen. Heracross.
Can lift objects 100 times its own weight.
Stars of Stage and Screen. Heracross.
It drinks tree sap obsessively and may fall asleep while licking it.
Stars of Stage and Screen. Heracross.
Despite having wings, it is very bad at flying. Not true.
Stars of Stage and Screen. Heracross.
Male Heracross have a cross-shaped horn. Females have a heart-shaped horn. Rude.
Stars of Stage and Screen. Heracross.
Mega Heracross's arms open like vents for extra power release.
Stars of Stage and Screen. Heracross.
It gets stronger when angry or poisoned, like the Hulk.
Stars of Stage and Screen. Heracross.
It sometimes drinks sap directly from grass-type Pokemon. Bulbasaur.
Stars of Stage. That was creepy. Stars of Stage and Screen. Heracross.
In Hisui, it performs push-up using boulders.
Stars of Stage and Screen. Heracross.
It collects shiny pebbles and hides them as trophies. It's not true.
Stars of Stage and Screen. Heracross.
Urban legends claim it tried to suplex a vending machine. Also not true. It also doesn't get stronger when it's poisoned.
Little plug, sketch 1, the containment field scare. Oh, I'm telling you, 26, it wasn't a glitch. I saw it. It's a little thing right outside the galley airlock.
The containment field flickered. 15. The whole trouble belt is pure psychic radiation. You saw a dust mote or a lonely thought.
David 7, the onboard bioscanner has detected a non-native, approximately $0.4 meter low density organic signature. It is moving erratically. Threat level unconfirmed. Low density. That's what they want us to think. It's a Pokemon, A small, hyper-aggressive bioweapon.
I'm slapping her forehead. A pluck minnow. Initialize the jellyfish defense protocol. Corner it near the cryo bay. Now.
I'm grabbing an imaginary weapon. We need to get Peep. If this thing is loose, it'll eat our ethereal pet cloud. Come on, we're going in.
Isn't Peep the ethereal pet cloud?
Yeah, we need to get it.
Before it's
Eats
that's
our
true.
pet.
We do. We don't want our pet getting eaten.
No, that's the point of that sentence.
Of this Stars of Stage screen. Rerouting power, D7. Confirm lockdown. If this is a biological threat, I want the atmosphere scrubbed to level orange.
Lock sequence initiated. David 7 advises you to be advised. The object is paused. It appears to be engaging in an inefficient localized licking motion. Licking? It's tasting our ship, I beg your pardon. It's mapping our structural weak points. This is the reckoning. And she's sleeping with some hippie half-wit who thinks he's Mr. Marksmith. Reckoning.
Ha! Indeed. Stop being so dramatic, Code Orange. 15. Ready your quantum fist. We're going to ambush this glorified space beetle.
Wah, wah, wah.
David 7 fact file. It's a fucking David 7 fact file.
It's a David fucking 7 fact file. Fact file. Heracross is a blue bug fighting Pokemon celebrated for its ridiculous strength. It can toss objects 100 times its weight, and Mega Heracross can lift fighter planes. You should interject with "not true" whenever Dave 7 says something not true.
Indeed, not true.
Despite being maybe David's sick, maybe he can have a sidekick that interjects when it's not true, like his son David 8. David 8 can interject. Okay, you're David 8.
Indeed.
Despite being a powerhouse, it is hilariously bad at flying and often gets stuck in trees.
That is not true.
Shut up, David 8 Jr. Sap is its ultimate obsession. It will fall asleep mid-lick and occasionally drink sap straight from grass types like Bulbasaur. Male Heracross. Male Heracross have cross-shaped horns, females heart-shaped ones, rude. And Mega Heracross.
Whilst this is true, we went over all of these facts. These are the only facts we've already told everybody.
And Mega Heracross arms. You shut up, David 8. Mega Cross arms even open like vents to release heat and fire seeds, spikes and rocks like a living insect machine gun. Legendary semi-true stories claimed it once arm wrestled a Tauros, flipped a Turbuzz, or acted as a living can opener for tree sap barrels. Is that true?
Possibly true. Possibly.
Oddly gentle unless you interrupt his snack time. Heracross inspires both awe and chaos in forests. Early concept art supposedly gave it a second ladle-shaped horn. Probably false.
Not true.
Gloriously weird.
Even chatbot's dobbing himself in. This one is a lie, but you can use it anyway.
I did tell it to throw in some lies for fun.
Nice.
7 fact file.
Right on the furious border of the trouble belt, I am 2612626.
And I am 1561414. We are holographic phantoms of Tupac, ABBA, Whitney Ho Ho Houston, and Ace of Base.
With our mascot Ethereal Cloud, Peep. Boop.
And our lovely computer, David.
David.
Fucking A. And my son, David 8. Say hello,
Indeed.
David 8.
Hello, David 8.
One will come after me who I am not fit to water his algorithms. We eavesdrop on the gossiping radio waves of the ether.
We genuinely made a quantum jump straight to Earth.
Precisely, and we attempted to pilfer some discs of the Pokemon.
What in the streaming cosmos?
Earthlings refer to us as spoilers. Dave Maud 008.
Indeed. Tonight's visitor is the holographic parlor Heracross.
What more sector of the cosmic lattice breached?
Your thanks are sufficient.
Let's tech scout. Initialize your containment field, Clone Clouds V8.6, and permit us to view the holodeck.
Jellyfish mode activated. Slither down the serpentine passage.
Indeed, the champions are the future androids who may well be the same two personalities so far in the future they have completely forgotten their human existence.
Who broadcast that?
How about that?
Who broadcast that?
What about this? Do you like that little Peep? It's cute, right?
Oh yeah, Peep's a good one. Peeps are good. He's very much the Snaggy of Stars and Stage Screen.
Yeah, indeed. David 7 and 8, they're bringing up the rear. Why don't you do the next David 7 fact file and I'll tell you if it's true or false. Or you can say it yourself. David 8, I'm going to allow you to do the next David 7 fucking fact file.
David 7 fact file. It's a fucking David 7 fact file.
Don't fuck it
Exactly.
up.
He's the D-Veg of Snaggy. Heracross is a nectar-obsessed, bug-fighting Pokemon bruiser that flings rivals across meadows to hog all the sweet stuff. Standing 4'11", possibly true. Its massive horn acts like a rage-powered forklift. Some legends claim it can open coconuts or lift lighthouses, not true. Definitely false, thank you chatbot, but gloriously Heracross. Despite its power, it is polite unless someone bumps its tree. It can toss objects. For a third time, it can toss objects 100 times its weight. It can cling to trees like a sleepy cat, and somehow get stronger when angry or poisoned once again for a second time, not true. Heracross loves collecting shiny pebbles and hiding them like secret trophies, again not true, and occasionally drinks sap from Bulbasaur, providing zero social awareness, very true. Male and female horns differ for a fourth time, sparking minor bug dating drama, and its TGC card shows mid-rampage action. One rare card allegedly smelled of sap, not true, sadly untrue. It never evolves, untrue, because in its own mind it's already perfect, true. Learning arm thrust without arms, nature is chaos, and Heracross embodies it beautifully despite having 2 arms to learn it with.
Armless.
That's not a fact. I can tell you right now off the top of my head. It's not a fact.
All right, tell me about these pictures. Tell me about these pictures of Heracross.
I certainly will. Heracross is a very unusual one for me to like, I would say. It does not fit into, like, my other favourite is Ditto, who is just a little pink blob.
Daft Drive.
Yeah, and I always strayed more towards the silly cute ones as opposed to like the powerhouses of what people normally like Charizard, etc.
Oh yeah.
And Heracross is a tough one in terms of physically. But I remember going to our grandfather's house in that apartment.
Oh yeah.
And I believe watching that episode where most of these clips come from, and really enjoying Heracross and then being super happy because it's very for someone whose goal is to catch them all. He does very infrequently catch Pokemon, so he basically meets a Pokemon like this every week who helps him out and just chooses to leave it alone. So the fact that Heracross wished to come along and became a full...
Oh, he basically said that he wanted to be captured, right? To be caught to them all.
Exactly, and then stayed a part of the team. So it was more than a
Really?
one-off deal, which is super nice for Heracross. And there's just something very cute about it as well, and I think its personality within the anime certainly helped that. Because without that, it is just sort of a big bug. They did a similar thing with Muck, the Pokemon that is just, like a big oozing pile of shite.
Yeah.
And they made Ash's Muck super huggy and affectionate and like a big sweet dog. And it does something to it makes it more of an acceptable character. And I think the same thing happened with Heracross where, in the real world, it would be like a super creepy looking giant bug.
Yeah.
But in this context, it is just super cute, and I would love to have one as a pet. Lift all the lighthouses around here.
What about these variations here? With the little pink one and the Mega Heracross.
Oh yeah, so Mega stuff is sort of after my time, so I don't really know how it works. But I think it's similar to Digimon.
Right.
Where you can be Mega for a while and then you go back to regular. So it's sort of like it's an evolution in a sense, but then it's rookies to champions and then champions back to rookies, basically.
Did that happen? Did you go from champion back to rookie?
Yeah, I think the original concept of that entire song series in the Cockney Watchdogs was that is what happens in Digimon.
No, it was that, but I didn't know if it was true. I just assumed that rookies to champions was what happened, and champions to rookies was just us. We just thought it amusing that they would go backwards.
No, it's like a sliding scale basically in Digimon, but I don't really know how it works in the Pokemon world. But I know that it is not a permanent change. You go Mega for a bit. So I've never really paid attention to the Mega Heracross because to me it is a separate character.
What's this one? I saw them described as shiny.
Yeah, there's a shiny thing. I don't know if it's just in the world of Pokemon, but it just means a rare alternate colour version that they've been doing since the early games. And Heracross happens to be a pink one.
What's this generational thing that's not? I think that's just the game Right, it's just how it looks in the 8th generation of the game, right? That's not the character evolving, right?
Yeah, no, that's just the game sprites, and with each
Yeah.
Heracross is from Generation 2, which is the
All right.
second of released Pokemon. Again, which made it exciting at the time because you had all these. As a child, I was already familiar with the 151 that we had.
Oh yeah.
They teased more with the addition of Togepi, who was not one of the 151. And
All
then
right.
Heracross was sort of one of the very first prominent second lot that
Oh,
came
yeah.
into the show.
So
yeah.
what generation are they on now, right?
According to that, 8. But I don't actually know. It's 8 or 9. Yeah, 9. Whereas I'm super familiar with 1 and 2, and then after that, I really don't. I know some of them, but I don't know where they place, etc. And then I know some of the later ones that are references to, because sometimes they'll throw in a baby version that you didn't know exists. So like they did it with Pikachu, and a couple of the other ones in the second generation, they brought in like a baby version.
Oh yeah.
And then sometimes, surprisingly, they've not done it with Heracross, where it goes from being one Pokemon to like a full line of, like Heracross would be the middle stage of 3.
Right.
And they would introduce a new, like, smaller version and larger version.
This is a cool Mega Heracross from, I guess, Pokemon Go, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's quite cool. I see it as a different character, as with the rules of the show generally are. Yeah, when it evolves, it's still this kind of like Doctor Who, kind of it can unlock a new sort of personality. It would be if we had covered Charmander.
Yeah.
To me, that wouldn't include covering Charmeleon and Charizard.
Okay. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But in Japanese, they're called Kabuto Mushies. They are stag beetles, right?
Total.
And so they're definitely sort of, to some degree, Heracross is based on these.
I didn't become a bit of a stag.
Exactly.
Yeah, they also bug Pokemon generally. I don't know if this is a true fact from myself. I'm just chatbotting now, but generally have the weakest and the least fans. I'd say Heracross is one of the prominent bug type Pokemon. Because again, most of them are just kind of, if you don't like bugs, they just are quite creepy. Like, I don't like the spider Pokemon.
Oh, God, no.
Despite them trying to make them
Here you
cute.
go. Heracross is based on the Japanese rhinoceros beetle, and Megacross is based on the Hercules beetle. Yeah, of course. And as you know, very popular just down the street. We actually have a beetle shop called Insect it's just full of stag beetles that you can buy.
Yeah, one of my memories of Japan was just in the supermarket. Like, if the floor of Tesco wasn't DVDs, if it was stag beetles.
There's a bit of an obsession. But anyway, little Plockmore sketch 2, the ambush and the suit.
Oh, that's me. I'm Zed. 26. D7, lockdown sectors 15 through 20. Give us a detailed heat signature readout. We need eyes on this cosmic chew toy.
Signature localized. Object is stationary. Currently attempting to open a tin of crystallized nectar. Wait! Recalibrating density. Oh, I'm pointing my holographic finger. There it is! It's in a little suit with tiny angry eyes. It's adapted. It's a tactical sugar place. Clock minnow.
That's it. Eat my quantum fist, you little shit. I am charging forward, and then I've skidded to a halt. I am staring bewildered.
Did you get it, 26? Did we save the ship? What is the reckoning now?
No, 15. Look.
Beep, beep. Standing in the corner of the corridor. Wait, who said that? Is it wearing a miniature crudely made Heracross suit made of salvaged ship material complete with tiny, ridiculous cardboard horn. It is peeping happily and desperately trying to lick a tiny smudge of sap from the floor. Oh, it's just our ethereal Cloud Peep in a costume.
It's a tiny, pathetic cardboard Heracross. It looks like it can lift a pebble, which it does not collect, not a tour bus, which it can lift, probably.
But do they have tour buses in Pokemon Land?
I imagine if someone's going on a tour, yes, but I can't see the two being in similar spaces.
It just seems incongruous, doesn't it, to Pokemon Land? Although I do sometimes think of the Pokemon Land as where the Wee Principality is and what it looks like.
Indeed, and once Envelope went there, if you remember, and destroyed the entire ecosystem.
I do not.
Heracross was one of the 3 Pokemon she stole from Ash, actually, and tried to pass off as her own.
No recollection of that.
There's a full video. She also then beheaded Meowth and framed Team Rocket for it.
Please send me this video.
I shall.
Reanalyzing confirms this small object is not a hostile Pokemon. It is the designated pet Pete. engaged in a complex role-playing behavior. The horn is made of Sector 7 storage foam. Isn't that right, David 8?
That is right.
Father. Call me father. Call me father.
I mean, father.
Unbelievable. We risked a multi-sector lockdown for an ethereal cloud in a budget beetle costume. This is even worse the time we lost that disc to a Snorlax.
Exactly. Why a Heracross, though? Did he miss the monologue? We did it twice.
I'm guessing he didn't, that's why. Anyway, can I get the video one more time? Because I lost it.
You certainly can. I don't think you can lose things on the internet, though. And this is one of those strange times where I'm familiar with the first couple of clips of this content, but this is the first time that neither of us have really got a great familiarity with half of the clips.
Well, we'll do it. I'm going to try this new style because I liked it a lot when I did it on the mod thing, but I don't know if it works really long term. Let's see. So anyway, he's holding his Pokédex and he's highlighted Heracross in the middle of his red Pokédex, which I always loved, and he's clearly a Game Boy. So we zoom across to see a particularly creepy view of loads and loads of Heracross in like all clustered on a tree. And I guess that's Ash looking at it desirably with his Pokédex, right?
Yeah, they would mostly celebrate a different Pokemon each episode of the show. Yeah. This being the introduction to the character Heracross.
Oh, yeah.
You can't pull too many threads with Pokemon or the whole thing will fall apart. But he is a 10-year-old who wants to know everything about this world that he lives in, but he refuses to do any prior research to anything. So he's always dumbfounded when something happens that if you were truly into this as your life goal, wouldn't be a surprise. Like, you'd probably at least have looked at a picture of the Pokemon.
Yeah, like skimmed through your Pokédex a couple of times.
Yeah. So it's
there's only like 100 of them at this point. It'd take you like 15 minutes tops to kind of like flip through.
Yeah, and they're all sort of area specific as well, so you could easily be like, I imagine, get like a guide map almost everywhere that you went, saying, oh, like bird watching. Like, oh, you're going to see these ones if you go to this area. So yeah, the fact that he's consistently dumbfounded and really bad at what he does is a good thread that runs throughout the entirety of the show that I saw.
It's a very romantic Japanese notion, though, of the kid just being like, he doesn't know anything, and he's just really passionate, and he's just constantly amazed in like the best way. It's like you see it in all of those animes, those children's kind of animes, just like they're constantly surprised and amazed by the world around them in a way that we jaded people are not. Although I've am.
It's simply wonderful, and it does feel different. And also, I imagine, so for the English audience, they are translating a script that is already probably pretty weak because it is aimed at children. It has that repetitive nature to it, like this episode of the Stars of Sage and Screen, which is good, really. It does just it'll pick 2 or 3 facts or things for an episode and just hammer them home for the entire time of the episode.
He collects pebbles?
Exactly. Like the sap, etc.
Oh yeah, it's very Japanese. It's like this is just the one thing, and that's what they do, and then he just does his thing, right? And what I love is that the fact is you've pointed out how many times in Pokemon they say the name of the Pokemon character, which is like, I think they say it on average about once every 10 seconds in these clips.
Oh, at least. I'd say way more. I'd say once every 3 to 4 seconds someone is saying Heracross. And I didn't know if that was a translation based thing. I wonder if that happens in the Japanese one and that's why, or if they just sort of translated it to be simpler and had more time to fill with like mouth movement in and so they just had the name, because this isn't a rarity in this specific. This isn't like, oh wow, look how many times they say just Heracross's name. Like, they do this across the board for every Pokemon that they meet.
I think there's a few ways. Number one is that if they are translating directly from Japanese, you wouldn't be using pronouns as much. You would be using the name more because it's just more polite. But second of all, I think because there's so many characters, there's just it's just a beautiful it's just a beautiful thing for us to get to remember the characters' names because they're just literally saying their name like all the time. And so it's like even if they had 20 new characters, you'd know them all because they literally just spent like several hours just listening to them saying their names over and over again.
It's very true, and to say there's by the end of Generation 2, there are 250 Pokemon introduced. Like they're not like they don't do them in bits either. They released 151 and then they released another 100
Love it.
in one. And yeah, as a kid, I never had an issue remembering the names of any of them. And this is clearly why, is that they were like, this is aimed at children. We want them to care about all 250 and want to buy all 250. So we're going to have to make sure they know, independent things about each and every single one of them.
But they don't need many, right? And so he's like, okay, well, all right, we like kids like stag beetles, so let's make like 9 Pokemon bug types that are all based on various types of stag beetles. We'll give them names, and then we'll have them say it over and over again. But each one of those only has like 1 or 2 defining traits. It's very Morty.
Yeah, there's also a debate of whether is the Pokemon named after the sound it makes, or does it say its own name? Is an interesting topic of debate. And also, it is one of those situations where essentially the entire species is nameless. If you had a group of cats and all of the cats were called Cat, and you kept referring to the cat by the word cat, it's essentially that. So like within the games and very infrequently within the show, Pokemon have nicknames. Like you can do it, in the game. You can call them whatever you want.
Right.
But in the show, it's not often that you meet somebody who's given a Pokemon a nickname. And that is probably, again, to avoid audience confusion. But it does not make a lot of sense. Again, this guy, his goal is to catch them all and love them all in a platonic way. And Brock specifically does not want to catch Pokemon. His general goal is that he wants to be like a carer of Pokemon, or I think he wants to be a breeder, actually, of Pokemon, but in a...
No, he doesn't want to be involved in that process. More as a farmer.
No, just in a purely superficial way.
Yeah.
But then they don't care enough about their Pokemon to give them personalized names.
Wow. All right, so we've only actually made we haven't
got to any of the clips.
Here we go. But I love it a lot, so it's very good. It's fun, and I'd be very happy to do an entire series of every Pokemon, all 9 generations.
It would be fun to especially go through all of Ash's, because there's lots of them where I don't. I trailed off around this time, so like 2001 or 2, and it is now 2025, and he never gave any of them away, really, so they all stick around, and you can only have 6 at a time, though, so they get binned off to the lab frequently.
So the lab's like just full of Pokeballs.
Yeah, they can roam free, and there's also no real logic as to how they fit into or what happens inside of a Pokeball, but there is an image of them having nice little homes
in the Scaramouche territory.
Yeah, WWP stuff. Yeah, let's have a look at a clip.
Love sap, right? Love sap.
Yeah, too much.
One. What do you mean too much?
Too much where he breaks social bounds to achieve it.
Well, he cracked open Bulbasaur and started sucking the sap out of his back.
He does it almost every time he sees Bulbasaur. And again, it's not the sort of thing you would find in a American children's or a British children's animation, I don't think. It's very sort of problematic if you look at it.
Creepy humour.
It is.
Original series, episode 119, 1999, Sappy ending, because yes, as you said, he's one of the big breakout stars of Generation 2.
Indeed.
A sappy ending.
Hey, look,
So Ash and his crew say, come on down, Heracross. And Heracross jumps down from the tree, very, very cutesy. And who's there in the gang? So I don't know these guys very well. So you got Pikachu's down there on the ground. You've got Ash. You got I do know that egg's name. Is he Brock?
He is Brock.
And I don't know who this guy is, and to be honest, somehow I've managed to miss him in the entire Pokemon series. And then this woman's probably called Angel.
That is Misty. She is the water one.
Right.
That guy is just an episode guy. So he's like a park ranger, or like a he's the one who comes along and says, "Oh, this is what the Heracross are doing, and this is why."
He's like an additional Pokédex just in case. Literally hearing the Pokédex, the David 4 readout about Pokemon is not enough. We've now got a human to reiterate those facts.
Yes, there's a general theme throughout the episodes that they meet someone whose cause is whatever the Pokemon's cause is, and that's how they got them. They tend to get on board through a human vessel as opposed to through the Pokemon itself,
Oh yeah,
because other than Meowth, for some reason, they can't talk, so they wouldn't. They eventually work out the problem, but again, it's much simpler to have it Park Ranger come in and say, "This is what's happening."
how do they
It,
solve that problem?
each and every episode, they solve it in a different way, usually with Pikachu stopping Team Rocket. And
Um,
I didn't.
okay.
The Heracross count doesn't actually. We're up to 4 already. It does not count the times that Heracross says Heracross.
Oh really?
So
I
if
thought
you
you were counting that.
no, this is just whenever a human says Heracross, because I
Wow.
very quickly realised that I would lose track of it.
Absolutely crazy. Yeah,
It's
so what
very
Togepi?
docile, and I like the way it walks to them from the tree. I think at this
Nice.
point it's just helped them do something. I don't know why this one out of the flock that we just saw, but this one is, like they're pushing it. This is the cute, nice one.
Is
That
the
is
egg
Togepi.
called Togepi?
Togepi, indeed.
Heracross wants to thank Bulbasaur and Pikachu. Cut to a obviously distraught Bulbasaur, with Heracross literally sucking the sap from the bulb on his back.
With no real, the facial expressions are very dog-esque to me with Heracross as well in this. It does not, it has no malice or hunger or desire behind its eyes. It is simply doing what it thinks is right. It is all, it is all on Bulbasaur's face in this scene to the level of comfort that the audience would or not feel could have been changed with. If Bulbasaur was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
It would come across less creepy from Heracross, but he is absolutely having a nightmare in
If
this.
Bulbasaur was enjoying it, it'd be more creepy.
It would, but there's a middle ground of him being like, "Come on now,
Come on now.
this is like a full on. This is the first time we're meeting."
It's also that tree is maybe even full of Heracrosses, so Bulbasaur must just be like constantly on the watch for that. Or maybe they don't really mind, but he seemed distraught. Maybe he was just kind of caught off guard. But everyone
I think
else
it's
is caught off guard.
Yeah, it's also opportunistic. I think Heracross smelled sap. He doesn't necessarily realise that Bulbasaur is a living, breathing creature at this point, maybe.
Maybe
Maybe this
not.
is his first experience with an animal that produces tree things.
Could be. What is Bulbasaur tree type, grass type, and Pikachu's electrical type, and Togepi is egg type.
Indeed, Togepi is normal type, but then later, upon the introduction of the furry type, was retconned to be a furry Pokemon.
Really? Like a
Indeed.
furry as in Fairy?
Yes, and also it can fly when it evolves, so it's also a flyer.
I love those ones where they kind of didn't have an idea and they just kept going with it, and they ended up with something that was like a sort of like an egg, but the middle of the egg's coming out and it's a bit pointy, like a star.
It would be. There's an episode in it for us of looking at the first, especially the first 150, where
Yeah.
I think they obviously designed and were confident with about 110, maybe 120 of like, oh, this is a cool idea, this is a cool name, this is a cool concept, and they're like, oh, we still have 30 more to make. So Togepi is the second egg, and the first set of eggs is 6 eggs. That is it, 6 eggs joined with faces.
That's what Togepi is?
No, that was eggs. It's called Execute, and he
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
predates Togepi.
So Togepi is not even the first egg base. But this is I haven't mentioned Anpanman yet, of course, right? And I had that book which was just like thousands and thousands of Anpanman characters, which was like literally any household product. Or anything else, to be honest, but starting with household products, fruits, vegetables, cutlery, tables, chairs, and then just giving it okay, so I got scissors here, so this would be like scissors man, but also scissors woman, scissors girl, uncle scissors, aunt scissors. So it's like they could stretch like 25 characters out of the pair of scissors.
Yeah, and considering now, I don't actually know how many Pokemon there are over the 9 generations, but you've got to be looking at least 1,000, because there's more. There's 100 or more every single time, at least.
Yeah.
So, and I like that people now will complain that they have run out of ideas, and you simply have to look. If you go through the first, even the ones that have got like a cool name and a design are, oh, that's a bird, that's a bigger bird, that's a fox, that's a cat, that's a dog.
There you go.
Like, it's not. They were supposed to be reminiscent of things from our world. There's also that they never really established, they do a couple of times in a negative way, but whether Pokemon are eaten
Right. Yes.
as they are animals in this world, whether, and they do actually, there's a couple of times where they'll be eating like a Magikarp, which is a fish. It does
Yeah.
imply that they are hunted and eaten,
I mean,
unfortunately.
I mean, unless everyone there is vegetarian, but there's nothing to suggest that. But look at this for a run of names. So there are currently 1,025 regular Pokemon. The last of the bunch being Peturant, which we'll have a brief look at in a second.
I've never heard of
But
that.
here's a run of just like somebody just on a roll. Because remember, these are also the English names, and they're not always translations of the Japanese names directly, right? So
Oh no,
somebody in
there's
America is having to come up with this stuff, right?
yeah, and that works globally as well. Like I think the French names are so the Japanese names are parodies of, or like like Japanese plays on words,
Yes.
and then in English they've gone for an English play on word thing. Like the names don't have to be anything similar to what they originally were. Like Ditto in Japanese is called Metamon.
Right.
There doesn't have to be a connection. And then that extends to all the countries of the world. Like I know some of the French ones have got names that parody, like past French characters. And then I can't remember that there's Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan in English, which
Yeah.
is, obvious. And I don't
Bruce
know what
Lee.
they were called. I think they're still named after some sort of martial artist in Japan, but it is not Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. It is, old
Oh,
Japanese.
I didn't get that the Hitmonchan was Jackie Chan. I never realized that.
Oh yeah, Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee.
Yeah, Hitmonlee I got right away, but somehow Hitmonchan didn't didn't strike
Oh
me.
yeah.
Let me read this list. Let me read this list of names because it's just an absolute run of. And actually, to be honest, you could read most lists, but I'm going from Drifloon, Drifblim, Bunnery, Lopunny, Mismagius, Honkro, Glamgore, Purugly, Chingling, Stunky, Stunkank. Bronzor, Bronzong, Bronsley, Mime Jr., Happiny, Chatot, Spirit Tom, Gibble, Gabite, Garchomp, Munchlax. A couple of those names you probably know, right?
Yeah, Munchlax is a baby Snorlax. Bonsley is one of my favorites because it's unrelated to it's a baby version of a tree Pokemon called Sudowoodo. And I like that Bonsley just sounds like it could be like the nickname of a New York taxi driver.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's a tree one, then it's a bonsai probably reference, right?
It is very bonsai. It's also, well, it is a bonsai tree. If you have the joy and privilege to drive around England at any point, there's a lot of village and town names that sound like they could easily be the names of Pokemon.
That can
and
be
vice versa.
That can be a good little scene, right? Isn't it? But here we go. Here's the 1025th is Petrodont, and he's to be honest, his quality isn't particularly much less than any other random one. I mean, do you think it's kind of like you can just like make any Pokemon good if you have a go?
Yeah, there's a key to designing great Pokemon, I would say, and it's a border of simplicity and characterization. Like it doesn't have to, as we're proving with Heracross, or like the most basic, like Mew is a fan favorite, and it's just a hairless cat, which in the real world would not be a favorite for most people.
No.
And they started doing this thing, like that must be one of they're called Paradox Pokemon, which I'm not entirely familiar. I think they come from the distant future or past, so they're sort of like
From a parallel
evolutions of Pokemon that
timeline, yeah.
exist. Oh, there you go. So they're just redesigns essentially. So they
Yes.
brought in like 20 to 30 new Pokemon that are just redesigns of old Pokemon with super weird names that aren't like tangible names like this, like Raging Bolt and Gouging Fire, Iron Boulder. But they don't have Pokemon names, they have thing names.
It's kind of fun though, right? I like it.
Yeah,
I'm really interested in digging into the whole Pokemon thing, but this guy is still a parallel, though I think.
Yeah, I don't know
It
what it is.
it is the leader of the Loyal Three and is associated with Ogerpon.
Chatbot could have said that to me, and it would have made the same amount of sense.
I mean, yeah, at this point, why would we believe Bulbaguard and Wikipedia anyway? It's like, is it real? What do you mean real? That somebody made up 1,000 imaginary characters, and just because they happen to be game, like Japanese big company, that those make them real? rather than like some kid who just made 50 of them, or me just going on chatbot and saying like, give me a new Pokemon.
Indeed. Well, there is a huge thing. I do it quite a lot in my fake sponsor race.
Right?
But there's a whole thing online, a big. It lends itself to its own ideas, basically. Like
Of
there's a
course it
whole
does.
Pokemon Fusion website where it'll just mash two of them together for you,
Love
and
it.
then people will take that sprite and then draw it as a new Pokemon in the anime style.
I mean,
And then
that's a beautiful culture, isn't it? It's it's the same thing. Like somebody designs one, passes it on, and people like it, they take it, run with it. It's like
there's unlimited potential with it as well because people will do things like, oh, here's Squirtle if it was a grass type. So
brilliant.
there's just like, oh, like, here's Squirtle's like fourth evolution, or like here's a baby version of Heracross, etc. But they have not, as of yet, out of the 1,000 they have not taken any on board from the fans as of yet.
No, I don't think. I think that'd be a slippery slope, especially for the Japanese company. I think it's
It's more likely that they would sue the artist and then us for
No,
discussing.
one of the things, I'm sure we get into this more, but like with all those Japanese properties, whether it's Mario, whether it's Pokemon, they're just very happy to just like take decades and decades to kind of unpack it. Whereas like in the time they've taken to just basically do 9 generations of Pokemon, Spider-Man's been rebooted like 50 times and things like that, and they've created entire universes and kind of destroyed them. And
Yeah, they do a sort of soft every generation that they introduce within the show, the anime. It's again, I don't really know anything that stretches. There's 3 different versions of everybody.
right.
More if you count like the game, but you've got the anime, you've got the game, and you've got the comics, which all have 3 different main human characters,
Yeah.
but all feature the same 150 Pokemon. So, in the comics, Ash has like Ash is called Red and has like a Poliwhirl.
Right.
So, like a completely is not Pikachu isn't his main guy.
Yeah.
And then in the game, obviously, you can choose whichever 6 you feel like and get attached. So there's not really a through line, and they can just keep reinventing themselves. So every time in the show there's a new generation, they do sort of a soft reboot where, they all come from different areas, basically.
Yeah.
This is why you've not seen them before, is the way around that.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And also it's a kids show, so even more so than something like The Simpsons, which is kids show, but it is at least a little bit pointed towards adults. This is not in any way pointing towards. This is a kids show. It's like the kid's not going to know. That kid who's watching it when they're 7, it's like
Exactly.
90% of them are going to go off and never watch it again, and then you've got the 10% that will care, and they can dig deep and complain and laugh and have fun as much as they like.
They truly hit gold with it because not only is it a kids show that is watched by lots and lots and lots of children across the world and has been for like 30 years now.
Yeah.
Adults still watch it, and you don't even have to. You could have never watched an episode of the show, but be a big fan of the card game. And again,
and the Pokemon Go still see people. I said 2 kids crouched down outside my house doing Pokemon Go yesterday.
Indeed,
This is 2025.
Kids at the current moment in time do not have access to these children's cards and toys because they are being bought up by the adult fans.
And I think that's a beautiful thing.
We're at the age now as well where nostalgia is prime, and the people who grew up my age when it came out and formed a great connection to it will be very easily sucked back in by anything relating to it.
And that's why we should take advantage of that demographic and start a Pokemon podcast ASAP.
Indeed, we should and will. But they only retired Ash, I think maybe last year, from like 95, 96.
Right.
And moved on to like, okay, we're going to start following a new character now.
And that's interesting because if you think about Naruto, which was huge, and then they killed him off, or they just moved on to his son who's called Boruto. And that, it seems like, I'm not a fan of the show, right? But from an outsider perspective, it seemed like almost nothing changed. They just jumped forward a generation.
Yeah, I don't know what's actually, I've not actually looked into what it is now.
What's actually banging this?
Exactly. So I don't know who the character is. I just know that they eventually wrapped up the Ash stuff.
We'll get there one day. Clip 2. Original series episode 119 from 1999. A sappy ending. Ash sees Heracross just absolutely gunning for that other big one with the horns. Heracross is sweating profusely and pushing his face against the other big beetle type. Heracross gets a good shoving across the ground by Red Beetle, sticking his heels in, but he's got no chance. Ash is trying to buoy him with getting their Heracross because nobody's said Heracross's name for more than 3 seconds, and but it had to no avail. Heracross says his own name and pushes back against the Red Beetle monster. The Red Beetle monster, interestingly, not saying his own name. And then we see Misty and Brock. Are those the correct names?
Correct.
Still carrying the egg. I thought you had hated all the bug-type Pokemon, she says. Brock says, and she says, Heracross isn't creepy. He absolutely is, Misty. He very much is.
He's so quick on that. That like he's had it in his back pocket for years. The way he immediately, without a second to spare, calls her out for hypocrisy.
Indeed. Team Rocket appear. Meowth appears to be controlling the Red Beetle by some kind of radio control. Heracross is just absolutely throwing stink lines and throws lines off as he picks up Red Beetle with his face. Red Beetle waving his arms like a maniac. Heracross is gritting his, what I believe are teeth. And he throws the giant monster at Team Rocket and their talking cat. Heracross ends by thrusting his arms in the air, bending his knees and shouting his name.
Indeed, it probably would have been worth me mentioning this at the start of the clip, but that is a robot he is fighting.
Oh yeah, it's very clearly a robot because it's not saying its own name.
Indeed, which is Pinsir. They have a habit of making robots of Pokemon instead of just going out and catching strong ones.
Where do they make these robots?
It's never established, nor are the financial resources needed, considering they are consistently, all of their goals are money orientated.
And essentially they're vagrants, right?
Well, yeah, by money orientated, I don't mean be rich, I mean have enough to buy food. Yet they have these robots.
We established that people can eat Pokemon, right?
Yes, can, but it's up to them.
All right.
And it's also there's a level of sentience that I imagine you can't cross.
No one's eating Mr. Mime.
No. A Mr. Mime hand on a stick. Ash is useless also.
Right.
It's worth pointing out that his entire journey he does a poor job of. And not only that, he is technically the hero of this story, yet he himself doesn't really do much. It is down to his team of captured animals.
Well, isn't that also just very fitting, given that his animals are actually fairly useless as well?
Yes, I would say his animals are incredibly useful. He just gets lucky repeatedly. This one is a super cute one, and he is just really trying to help out, basically. He has no stake in this anymore, other than to help these people.
Where did he come from?
Where did he go?
How did he end up on their teams? This is the same episode, right? So he's gone from being a stranger to sucking the sap out of Bulbasaur to fighting for their lives within minutes.
Essentially, yes. There's a very quick turnaround of friendship making because, they have 20 minutes and the attention of 6-year-olds to keep. So we just missed the bulk of the story, basically, which was like a bug war, like a bug turf war between Heracross and Pinsir, and then at some point Team Rocket come with a robot one.
Right.
To presumably either take Pikachu, which is what they do, or sometimes they want the Pokemon that is central to that episode. Your mama.
Delia Ketchum, Ash's mother.
Exactly. Pokemon your mum.
Anyway.
It's a good clip for Heracross, not so much for Ash, which will be a recurring theme throughout this. And this is him doubling down on his kind of sweetness of seemingly caring more about humans than other members of his own species or the other species of Pokemon. He's a human fan.
He's a human fan. Are most Pokemon human fans, or are there any that are human enemies?
No real. Only the ones that get caught seem to be. I think it sort of Stockholms you pretty quickly.
Right.
You're immediately on board. There's not really a lot of being against. Mind you, though, you can, in the games and stuff, they can break free. So
there's no bad Pokemon.
Yes, there's loads of them. But the implication is that if you catch them, it's because they are willing to be caught.
Right.
Still boils down to them. But mostly they're just animals in nature. So they just live in herds, getting on with their lives.
Don't know about that.
Occasionally, someone will catch them. It's essentially just pets. People have rabbits indoors, but there are also lots of rabbits outside.
That is true, actually. You can't move for them. What What
It's
about
becoming a real problem.
so pathetic Ash has his Pokemon, but
Indeed.
Team Rocket,
Question no one asked.
Team Rocket, why do they need Ash's Pikachu when there really must be everywhere?
Yeah, that's a huge. Oh, also Mewtwo is enemy of humans.
Oh yeah.
They really don't have an answer or a reason. It's specifically early. It works for 15 episodes or something where they're like, "Oh, our boss has asked for this specific Pikachu."
Right. Is
But you're
that how they
talking
started? Is that how they
pretty
started?
much, yeah. They spotted this. The idea with Pikachu is that he was relatively rare. He isn't one of the three choices that you get when you start your journey. He just happened to
Well, that'd
Ash,
be the way I would get around it. That although he's the main
Ash was late.
character, he's actually very rare. That's how you get around it, right?
Yeah, Ash was late basically, so he did not get one of the three
Like
proper
Bulbasaur
choices.
and those ones, right?
Yes. So he
Chauncey,
was
like Chauncey.
exactly. So he was just gifted this sort of like naughty Pokemon that no one wanted.
All
But
right,
he's only naughty for like an episode.
but they're doing the thing where you flip back and forth like Yoda. He's the only Yoda, but clearly there must be a race of Yodas, otherwise there could be no Yoda.
Exactly, he'll die. No, it's not even that rare. Like they see a lot of Pikachu's knocking about. There's episodes where they go to. There's one was specifically with a village of them in the woods
All
that Team
right.
Rocket are also present for, so they have every opportunity to just take
Just
eventually it just becomes psychological warfare, I think.
right. So they're just
Okay.
trying to defeat Ash for some personal grudge because they could have filled their pockets with Pikachus.
Yeah, because like I say, it works for 15 episodes, but I believe Team Rocket were the enemy for about 1,050 episodes.
Well, it does look like they've started strong with 119 episodes in season one, which is, many people would say that Faulty Tower is one of the best sitcoms of all time. Only had 6, and that wasn't enough. But many might also say that 150 or however many they did in season one of Pokemon is probably too many.
Perhaps I don't recall either of the Faulties having a Pikachu either.
They don't.
So there
So
wasn't
over here,
a thousand episodes worth of plot.
They lost it. Oh, Sybil, where's that damn Pikachu gone again? No, I'm from Barcelona, me lad.
It is it's a very prominent show, perhaps the most successful version of making a TV show as a means of merchandise selling. Because there's really nothing episode you could watch maybe 3 episodes of Pokemon and have the entire. You could then write your own series after that, and it'd be
Right.
basically bang on. It is very. They don't go for big swings.
Well, no, this is the thing. Like over here, so Detective Conan is on every Sunday, and there's never a week off, other than very, very occasionally, maybe a couple of times a year. So it's on like 50 weeks of the year, right? So it's been on for like 20 years at this point, right? So there's nothing in the sense of really seasons, as far as I even know. It's just like the original Pokemon series probably just ran for like 10 years, and then they just rebooted it, and that's when they start counting it.
Yeah, well, there is like maybe 10 different types of series involving Ash, but a lot of them were like the original run basically lasted, like maybe 200 episodes, and then they started doing them as shorter-ish runs. I don't know.
Well, they would have tied in with the
following
game maybe, and also what they do over here is every spring when the kids finish school in April, there will just be a slew of movies that are all based on so there'll be a Pokemon one, a Crayon Shin-chan, and a Detective Conan, and Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Demon Hunter ones now, and we just been watching the Chainsaw Man one, which is not in April, but they come out all the time. Like so that's why there's like 2 Muppet movies, but like 60 Pikachu, 60 Pokemon movies.
Yeah, they did start pumping them out maybe one a year or so. There's about 22 to 25 Pokemon movies, which again I remember the hype obviously as a youth, and the first 2 and the cinematic experience.
Mewtwo was introduced, wasn't he, in one of the first ones?
In the first one, big event.
Even I remember that.
maybe 2 or 3 films. I don't know if the third one made it to the cinema, but after that, basically, they all just became, DVD
Nice. We clearly need to
releases,
do
etc.
more Pokemon episodes because this is going to be like 6 hours. We've only done 2 clips, both of which are less than 30 seconds long each.
And let's continue.
I'm not complaining. I'm very happy
Indeed.
with this Poke Chat.
I can't
Clip
remember how
3.
it took us so long to get to the content in the first episode. I don't remember what derailed it.
Poke Chat. Hours and hours of
Right.
Poke Chat.
Indeed.
And 25-minute long sponsorless videos. But again,
All right.
no complaints. Clip 3, episode 119, a sappy ending from 1999. Is that Brock or Ash talking? Because he sounds very much like Millhouse.
That was
way out
Ash.
here.
Right, listen to that.
It was a raspy.
What's Heracross doing way out here?
Yeah, it does actually.
That's Millhouse.
That is very close. Actually, I've never really picked up on that. There's a raspiness
What's
to it.
Heracross doing way out here?
So that's Ash whining with his little Pika man next to him, and Heracross is wandering across to the other two, Misty with her egg and Brock. He said, "Where are you going, Heracross?" He's walking along. Aren't you staying with your friends as they're leaving the forest? He does a cute little face and he smiles. I don't think stag beetles have a face like that, but again, taking liberties.
No, I don't think they do have a face like that.
He puts his hands together in a cute way and he shakes his head. Heracross. I guess you have to infer that he means no from that. And
Yeah, it's very cute.
very cute.
You think maybe it wants to come along with us?
Is that what you want, Heracross? Do you want to come and be with me? Heracross. All right.
What goes on with it? He doesn't even finish his name there. So Ash and Brock both say you're going to come along and be like, Pokemon, like our third best Pokemon. And Brock's just got his sleeping bag. He's not even got any Pokemon.
No, he keeps them like with the exception of those two, Togepi and Pikachu, they all just stay. They're just completely fine staying in the Pokeballs.
Right, and we must have talked about this already in the episode, but we've established that they're happy inside the Pokeballs.
Yes, it's never established one way or the other, but it's never implied that they are unhappy. And I've seen quite a lot of cool things online that were sort of like a Polly Pocket situation or a thing of that sort of ilk.
Right. So, but we're not really expecting that he shrinks down and he's got a little house in there. We're not talking that shite, are we?
That's what I would like to believe. However, given that you can transfer them across like digital space, I imagine they just go into some sort of digital ether, which also opens up the idea that are they even real animals?
Is any of this real?
Digital creations of this world that they live in.
How can you transfer them digitally? What even does that mean?
Exactly. Well, you'll see shortly. But even within the realms of this world, like there's something genetically, like if you threw a Pokeball at a dog that you saw, it would not capture that dog.
It would not capture the dog.
If you threw it at a dog Pokemon, it would, and that dog Pokemon would now be yours. So there's something in the genes.
This very wild and weird, but we're on a fool's errand even trying to dig into that shit. You know that, right?
Yes, Heracross, Ash in this clip shows why he's one of the worst main characters of all time as well. It's just the most obnoxious, self-centered.
Heracross is?
No, Ash. There's absolutely nothing to imply that Heracross had picked Ash out of those 3 people to join. He just steps forward. I believe even Brock says something like, "Oh, maybe he wants to join us," and then Ash steps forward and says, "Is that true? You want to join me?"
I don't think he does say join. I don't think he does, but Ash's Millhouse makes a lot of sense. Let's have a listen.
Do you want to come and be with me?
Yes, he does.
All right.
Heracross is loving it, right? So he's all giggly, and then Ash grabs the Pokeball and just actually wazzes it right at the poor animal's chest.
It's very cute. Capturing as well. Like most of them are, you've beat the shit out of them first before you can own them, basically. Right. So this is a rare situation where the Pokemon is basically like, yes, please take me with you. I want to be caught. Yes.
Catch them all. But this is the first we see of the Pokeball being thrown. He throws it just bounces off Heracross's chest, who's sitting there like a little devoted puppy waiting to be captured. It opens up and it zaps him right inside, which definitely is some kind of teleportation, right? So I mean, people must have suggested that they go to some other kind of like that's a dimensional portal.
Yeah, I've never really looked into it as much as you would assume, but yeah, it is strange that it becomes this red energy and shrinks down to, regardless of the size of the creature in question, will
Right.
always fit inside one of those balls.
My
So yeah,
point being
there
that they
isn't-
don't actually go inside. They're zapped to some other place where they can have lots of fun.
Indeed. One of my thoughts as a kid was always, how does he know which ball has which Pokemon?
Yeah,
Off the
exactly.
top of his head. Like, they're all the same, you're just picking, it's like a lucky dip.
Might be written on it, but they never show us.
Maybe on the bottom. The ones at the bottom.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's completely on board. I think when I said he didn't take any big swings or risks, I would argue with myself that they did in this situation. Pick a Pokemon that they thought shouldn't be cute and decide to make it as cute as possible to see if it would translate. Because they've not
Yeah.
gone. They brought in like 100 new Pokemon, some of them like baby Pokemon, and like, sometimes just designed to be cute. And then they brought in a stag beetle,
Right.
and like this is the one that we want to make sweet and cute like a puppy.
Does he stick around though, or do we just never see him again? Basically.
Yeah, he sticks. This is the thing. Ash is really bad at his job as well. He does not catch them all. He catches them very infrequently. So it's a surprise in itself. Like, he meets one of these a week, basically, and doesn't capture them. Like a Pokemon in an environment that needs some sort of help or will
Right.
help him, and they just go about the business and say goodbye. So it's unusual, and again, that's what drew me to him. This may have been the first time I saw him catch Pokemon, basically in real time. It was
Right.
like, oh, this guy is part of the team now. And yeah, we'll get into it shortly, but basically makes several more appearances, and you're only allowed 6 at a time, essentially.
Oh yeah.
At some point, he keeps him for a while and then transfers him over to Professor Oak, who looks after them all, basically. Which is the easiest way of basically saying, he needs to have 6 and they need to be interchangeable, but we don't want him to have to give them away every single time or kill them.
Right. So he gives them to Professor Oak, and Professor Oak can have as many as he wants.
Yeah, you can essentially catch as many as you like, but you're only allowed to have 6. In the games, they send them...
Oak's got way more though.
Oh, like on your person.
Or you can only physically
trainer.
carry 6 Pokemon.
Yes, and it's unclear whether you can carry more if you're not a trainer, but you're only allowed 6 in regards to the rules of Pokemon training,
Right.
and battling, etc. And
So-
immediately you don't have a choice either. Like, you get your 7th and it just vanishes. It goes immediately to a computer.
So it's just like digital. So if you were to somehow pick up a 7th, it would just go into your computer?
Yeah, there's an episode early on when he catches his 7th Pokemon, basically, and he's just completely blown away by what happens, despite supposedly this being his favourite thing. He had no idea that was going to happen. And yeah, it basically just forces you to make choices.
Now this guy's got
hundreds.
strapped hundreds of Pokeballs. So do you think he's not breaking the rule? Like the fact is that if you don't do something to break that chain and keep extra Pokemon, then they'll just automatically go into your pocket calculator.
Basically, I don't know if everybody has a predetermined area where they get sent, or whether Ash is just lucky that he knows one of the best professors
Right.
in the world on the subject.
Well,
But it's, his go to a nice farm upstate, basically, every time he needs a new one. But it does go back.
I've heard that one before.
Yeah, but it does go back to his go back to the lab sometimes in episodes, and you do see like the whole gang, which we see in some of these clips. But also, they did some kind of weird 20-episode spin-off series at some point that I only found out about a few years ago. And it was the same characters, but not Ash. So
Right.
they kind of like the Springfield thing we talked about. So there's a couple of lab episodes in that, and Heracross is in those because he's a lab character at that point. So you do get to check in on them and stuff. And there's very rarely does one of them leave permanently.
Right. Like what does that mean?
There's one where he has a Butterfree early on that leaves to be like with more Butterfree. So like officially like gone, not just like not back at the lab or anything. And they did it with Charizard, and then I don't know after that. But he has a tendency, again, considering he's supposed to be catching them all, he has about 9. At that point, actually, he has 5, and he lets one of them leave. So
No one's
yeah,
really checking what all means in this context, right?
no, he's not good at it. Considering that I think that was more the slogan of the game, because obviously you have the ability to do so.
Yeah, so anyway, all this, this is why I think really think we should do Pokemon Cast, even if it's a series of just like we said, the 6 worst Pokemon.
Indeed, it'd be worth
This is
looking
going to
at.
be like 5 hours. Every single episode's going to be 5 hours
Indeed.
because the whole world of Pokemon is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's easy to. It's by far of everything we've looked at the easiest to completely pick apart.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's no real thread, and there doesn't need to be. It's making more money than it would ever feasibly need. So even when the program started, they had no need to try.
Even when the program's been on for no years, they had no need to
Yes.
try.
Exactly. It's routine that they're on a journey each week. They will meet a different Pokemon, have an adventure, and that will be it.
I mean, it's brilliant. I just love it. I think we could do speed runs through them, just like, just a couple of hours on each Pokemon.
Exactly, just a 6 or 7 week cast for each.
So there you go. Clip 4, original series, episode 120. So is this like, this is about 20 episodes later, right?
No, I
On
believe it's the
Pokemon.
exact. I think the last one was 119.
No, I think the last one was 199.
That would make it 80 episodes less. That's how numbers work.
I don't know. Roll on Pokemon.
I will double down and confirm that it is, in fact, the very next episode.
All right, so the very next episode. But like, does it end with him catching Heracross, and the next episode like starts with him catching Heracross?
No, it ends with him catching it, and then at some point within the next one, he gets into a battle. So he decides to test out his newbie.
So he's having a battle, and without no training at all, he just decides to throw this like wild Heracross into a battle. So Ash throws the ball.
This is the training.
I choose you, Heracross. I think that's it. You throw the ball, right? And the ball will bring the animal back. So it doesn't matter. They're interchangeable.
That's a good point. I'll take that.
Heracross is
fighting. Too.
Donphan.
I am a big fan of Donphan. Who is this guy?
The elephant with I don't know, like basically like a head guard on.
Like a rubber shield around him, yeah.
So they're just fighting for no reason in a park.
Use your endure!
Use your what? Your freaking door?
Endure.
It says use your endure, so he just Heracross he just stands there and takes it, picks the elephant up and throws it. But it doesn't do anything to the elephant, doesn't even flap his plastic shield. So the elephant just jumps back, only turns into an effing ball, and then just rolls at top speed all over. Yeah, and Ash has enough time to tell Heracross to turn around. So the elephant has just sprinted past his face. Heracross leaps too slowly and gets smacked into a tree. And Ash is disappointed because he wants him to fight the elephant, but Heracross far more interested in sucking the juice out of a tree, and turns around and just starts chomping on this tree. Ash is just not happy with this. He says, "Let's go. There's no time to stop for a snack." Heracross busts out some wings that we haven't seen before. Maybe we have.
Oh, yes, he can fly as well.
Heracross, use your head. Blasting and just survival of the fittest against this elephant rhinoceros beast. Ash just won't shut up, will he? And just let Heracross just have a go for himself. He's that's like 4 instructions in like 30 seconds.
I have cut this down.
All right, okay.
But also that is the predominant job. You're essentially a director.
Right.
So you have to. If you put them into it without any direction, they would probably kill each other. Is how I see it. This was with direction. It is more human sparring.
What are they fighting for?
To train.
What?
This is simply how you train. This is just for joy.
Why are you training them?
To be better at killing other ones. To be the very best.
Is that what you're trying to be?
It's what he's trying to be.
The best trainer or the best Pokemon?
Both. He is not successful at it though, which is why it takes him over 1,000 episodes.
Right.
He has a large sense of delusion.
But he doesn't even finish, does he? Right.
I think eventually he wins, but I mean like in 2024 or whenever it was.
Wins what?
The Pokemon.
You have caught them all. Congratulations. Bleep, bleep, bleep.
No, he wants to be a Pokemon master, which means basically you win organised fighting events, and if you win like the Olympics of that, you are known as the best one. And
Right.
not pick, whether it's best in world or just best in area. But that's his goal, and he consistently does not do a good job of it until maybe episode 1050.
Right. Well, hopefully we'll get to that. But anyway, so Heracross is still fighting the elephant beast. Turton. His name's Turton.
Donphan.
Where did she come from and who is she?
She owns this Donphan, and she must be, again, part of this episode.
All right. So
And
you meet
these
random
two-
trainers every week, right?
Yeah, most times they're like, let's have a battle
Right.
for just to see.
Let's make our animals fight.
Yes,
Fair enough. All right.
which
Let's
again
see.
only works because they seem to enjoy.
They do. They're bred for fighting. That's why dog fighting's
So popular.
because the dogs love it. So that's the logic that's seen many an entrepreneur get sent down.
Exactly.
Your Honor, they love it. Yeah. Mr. Smith, 7 years in prison. Your dogs will be taken from you. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if I really buy into this idea. I don't know if the Pokemon do love it, but so far they do seem to be at least enjoying the spar, and there's no blood. It seems to be just for fun.
Yeah, it's all very sparry, and again, things don't translate into animated media very well in the sense that it's never established whether the damage can translate to humans, because Ash and Co, Team Rocket, are consistently electrocuted and set on fire by these creatures, and it does absolutely no damage to them. So I believe that you might be in they can only damage other Pokemon situation. However, that also cannot be true because they can destroy things.
I'm interested in seeing those little quirks throughout.
Yeah, if you pluck too hard on any thread, it all falls apart because it's a world of creatures that, again, they have to just keep upping themselves on power levels and stuff, and there's just no way that humans would have a chance in this established world.
No, not at all. I mean, I'm very interested in how the even world exists, but I shudder to even venture into any more questions given how deep we've already gone into Poké lore.
Indeed. Not mention the fact that Pokemon is God.
The plastic-covered elephant rolls into the beetle, once again throwing the beetle into the ground and on his ass. I'm guessing that Ash's Pokemon don't lose very often.
No, they do actually. Again, he's not really very good.
Right.
It's more about the journey of, each loss is a lesson or something.
Right.
And yeah, I think this was just an opportunity to showcase Heracross after his debut 1 week earlier. And they were like, well, let's have him use him in a battle. And then I don't know after this when he reappears, basically. But I think it is better to not have him win everything because you wouldn't have 1,050 episodes then. He would have completed this in like 20 episodes. So it's good. He's also way too smug, and he's consistently brought down a peg, which is fun to see.
But it doesn't affect him in the slightest. He simply climbs back up to that peg the next day.
Exactly, not even the next day, within minutes. I do like that they decided to give Heracross a trait, which they don't necessarily do for all the captured Pokemon they bring in.
Right.
But the trait of really enjoying snacks and not really caring about fighting.
Right.
And he's more interested in snacking, which I think is a power balance because he's within game world and statistics and stuff. I think he's pretty strong team member.
Right. Well, I think it's delightful, to be honest, but let's see where Ash goes over, and his Heracross is now just flat out on the floor. All right, so he did lose. He said you put up a good battle, but we need a little more training. So it's kind of refreshing that because in American cartoons, I don't really remember the good guys ever losing, and especially not on a regular basis.
No, it'd be a big deal, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Also, I do like it's more in this world of no realism. It's more realistic that this woman who has owned this Donphan for quite a long time would not lose to somebody's first go.
No, at all. That's very true. Even if he tried really hard.
Yes, but I think it's setting up the potential that if he steers away from the snacking situation, he could be probably an absolute powerhouse.
That's right. Member. Like Rocky 2 and also Rocky 3 and a bit of Rocky 4. We, says Heracross. We almost beat them, didn't we, Heracross?
There's a lot of that going around. A lot of we, and I did this with no input of his own.
No, he basically captured him and then threw him at an elephant and then comforted him for his loss, but said, don't worry, we did pretty good.
Yes. He will also, if anyone's going to tell you that they're the best, it's going to be him. He's a backpatter of his own variety.
He broke his own arm,
Yes.
patting his
patting
back
his
after a defeat in a forest. Patronizing him, isn't it? How good that, like the monk woman's Heracross is strong. Brock's like, no, he's going to be the best one day. And Heracross has gone all goofy-eyed because he's kind of taken an absolute beating from this elephant.
Yeah, which is now just stood there. See, like now they're friends.
Well, that you can still
No.
see you can still see the elephant would have another go.
Yes, that's how it seems to work. They're all friends who are ready to, at the drop of a hat, kick the shit out of each other. But
That's how it should be.
It seems to be in their nature that is joyful to all species of Pokemon.
Okay. I like the way that if he wants to state something, he doesn't say all of his name. He says Heracross.
Yeah,
which
there's
is
some
very
great
good.
choice. Not all of them actually say the name as well. There's some great choices that are made in terms of Pokemon noises, the best one being the Pokemon Victory Bell. I don't know if you want to have a little quick look for that. Never explained.
Simple task.
It's just like a screaming plant that likes to attack Team Rocket. That's fun. That's good.
It's for absolutely no reason. Most of them just say their own name.
I suggest we put the Pokemon cast into proper rotation as soon as possible, and we do Victory Bell next.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
He also is owned by James, who he continuously eats.
Right. James is the bad guy, right, from Team Rocket.
Yes, indeedly.
Alrighty. So is this the last clip? I can't work it out.
No, there's like 3 more clips.
All right. Yeah, original series episode 269, 2002. So we're ahead almost, at least 2 years. They're from 99. The ties that bind.
I can only imagine Heracross has made appearances throughout that time in non-battle situations. I just went off what the wiki said because this is where I'm a bit shaky.
Yeah, like a bit background.
Yeah, like his team are always sort of, like he'll let them out for a little play around the area or to eat, etc. So you do see them.
All
it's
right.
just that they're focused on a lot.
Are they? So that's his like team. So that the Pikachu, Heracross, and 4 others or 3 others are his standard team for like these first like 200 episodes.
It changes up quite a bit. So like he's always like essentially from the start he has Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander.
Well,
the first 20 episodes maybe, and they all stay for the first maybe like 300 episodes, and then he moves on to basically when they go to a new area, like a new region. So like a continent, he'll basically just leave everybody but Pikachu behind at the lab and start again.
Right,
which is a good way to get around the fact that he would just be really, really powerful. You have to, keep going with. But it's quite frustrating that he does always have 6 on him, and I'd say 95% of episodes he just lets Pikachu do everything.
I mean, you've got to if you're going to be the best trainer, you've just got to have one strategy.
Indeed. They just really box themselves into a corner of giving him a team of 6.
Making billions of dollars.
Yes.
Box themselves into a massive merchandise corner.
A real problem corner. They gave him 6 Pokemon and basically gave him 4 permanent ones 20 episodes in that were not going to be changed out at any point. So it just leaves space for 2 interchangeable ones. I don't even remember who his other one is at this point.
But they've managed somehow to find a way around it and now have a 1,500 Pokemon. So they didn't stop them too much.
No, quite an unboxable corner.
Clip 5, episode 269, The Ties That Bind. They're in some kind of gladiator battle where Magmar, I guess, is some kind of fire Pokemon, has just been thrown against a rock, seemingly. Everything's very hazy as this Char creature is blowing fire onto Heracross. Ash continues to belt out his unnecessary advice. So
it's very, if this was, again, the only reason this works is because there is no sustainable damage to the Pokemon, but that image of him blowing fire directly into his face at top speed, and then the jump back and the entire Heracross body is just on fire, is horrific if there was a consequence to it. But everything seems to be, it is all brushed offable. And what they're doing right now is basically the ultimate goal, is to win these competitions.
And these are kind of like proper gladiator stadium battle to the death type thing.
Yeah, from what I think it's a 3-on-3 knockout situation. So just like a tournament, like a All-Stars 3 was for
Yeah,
us.
very much.
Yeah, but I think this is a different series. I don't think this is the original series anymore. I can't remember what it said then. But this is way later in the day. I thought I'd left in the clip where he transfers him over. But it must
Right.
come later. I think it must be in the bonus stuff. But
Chauncey.
yeah, he keeps him for a while, sends him back, and then decides to bring him back for this
Right.
tournament as
Okay.
a fighter.
Heracross just literally shakes off that fire and he's blowing the little fire goblins all around him, but he's just got a big goofy smile as he just steps up. He used its wings to blow away the flames, and this has sent the Donald Duck fire monster into a bit of he's concerned now. And it's the first time we've seen this attack where he gets his mega horn out and essentially creates a shield that the fire duck simply cannot fight against.
Yes, powerful.
And he gets all the way to Magmar's body and just proper does him in. The most powerful Pokemon attack. That's quite a bold claim, isn't it? They're all snotty little kids, aren't they? All these trainers. They're all obnoxious.
Yeah,
Jock
bunch of
dangles. Yeah, absolutely, right?
Ash's nemesis.
All right,
So
what's
he
his name?
makes Ash look, I believe he's called Gary. He's the nephew of Professor Oak, grandson.
The nephew of Professor Oak's grandson, and his name's Gary.
I think just grandson of Professor Oak.
All right.
His name is Gary Oak.
Gary
And
Oak.
he's always been like, he is the intentionally obnoxious one, whereas the rest of them are just insufferable by writing choice. Whereas this one he is supposed to be the worst one, so
Right.
it does track that he's terrible.
So we don't
And he
want him
is.
to win.
No, there's just a lot of smugness and arrogance from almost everybody. Misty's a horrible person.
Right.
Brock's basically the only decent guy until you put a woman in the scene, and then he's also just as bad as everybody else.
Right. So in what way? Like he's disrespectful to them?
Yes, he's very he would not. They must have changed Brock for today's episodes. Is how I see it.
Right.
He's very comically pushy. Is how I would describe him.
But not
It's
not how any female would describe him.
No, he's just played as your traditional roll your eyes at him sex pest.
And that's just how they did it in the 90s, sadly.
He's terrible.
All right. Anyway, Heracross is now blasted. What's his name? Fire Duck?
Magma. I believe in Japan he's called something like boobs. I can't remember.
Booba.
There you go.
Yes, Booba is apparently a type of bird, but I wouldn't know about that stuff. With a single insanely powerful move, he just blasted the heck out of Magmar, knocked him to the ground, gave him those curly eyes, and Pokemon referee said he wins. And Heracross has obviously been spending quite a lot of time with Ash, and he's now got a very dickish look on his face as he waves his claws around in Magma's face.
Yeah, smugness that I believe. And again, it's more likely that the training that he's got and why he's so strong now is because Ash sent him back to the lab where he could basically roam freely with all of Ash's other Pokemon. And if this is what they do for a hobby, they could just battle each other willy-nilly whenever they felt like it. And also they are under the care of apparently one of the leading professors in the world.
The leading Pokemon professors in the world.
Yes, not real science.
But he thinks the fighting is absolutely necessary and okay and natural.
Yes, it's all you have to cherish and love and respect these creatures so that they can beat the shit out of each other better. Is the whole thing.
But like, is this like Wild Pokeland or this place where he stores them all? Is it just like a 20-on-20 brawl like all the time, or do they just fight individually in little battles?
I'd say yeah, more likely that. It seems like they don't battle at all until human intervention from the most part.
But they don't roam in packs and have like proper like gang wars.
No gang wars from what I can remember, but they do. The more Pokemon he catches, the more social the group becomes, it looks like. So whenever and I'm basing this off things I've only seen once or twice, like later stuff. So when it'll cut back to the lab or that random spin-off show they did where a few episodes were set at the lab, you will see all of Ash's Pokemon just sort of roaming free and hanging out with each other.
But they're individual members of the race, right? It's not like he's got 45 Bulbasaurs.
No, he has a lot of the Pokemon Taurus, which he caught at this Safari Zone. He caught like 30 of them in the Safari Zone. But that episode was banned in England because a man puts a gun to Ash's head. So it never made any sense to me as a child. Because one episode he did not have 30 Tauros, and then the next episode he all of a sudden did with no explanation as to where they came from.
Yeah, it's frowned upon actually. Even in non-children's cartoons for an adult to hold a gun against a child's head.
Yes,
it's frowned upon, and I absolutely agree with that. As a
there's also an episode
something we should not be doing in cartoons or in real life.
There's a full episode we could milk out of episodes that were not allowed to be broadcast in England.
And we absolutely will. Like I'm saying, we are 2 hours into this seemingly
7-hour cast.
Let's chat about this beetle Pokemon. We clearly have lots to say about this.
Yeah.
See, Gary, my Pokemon are powerful enough to win even at disadvantage. Flashback to a guy with Limahl hairstyle and Ash with his fingerless gloves just waving his fist at Gary. What was the unfair advantage?
Fire is better than bug. There's like type advantage and disadvantages that work into real nature. So like rock Pokemon aren't very good against grass or water.
Oh, like rock, paper, scissors.
Yes, essentially that, but on a wider scale. He makes Lisa Simpson look like a question somebody asked.
Exactly, but he's the house that we all mill. Clip 6, episode 269, the ties that bind. Same episode. Let's see if Gary comes back. Heracross, shield yourself with a rock, and Heracross just happily hides behind a rock, as now a water Pokemon is blasting. It destroys the rock. This is the power that this water has got.
Heracross!
And it just knocks Heracross into another rock, and Ash is just shouting at him. Oh, he's got the curly eyes. He's done for. Blastoise wins, and so Gary, it's 1-1. Gary versus Ash. What power! Blastoise blasted not only Heracross but the rocks it was using to shield itself.
Yeah, it's also there's an unfairness to that where also within the game it is just part of the game, but it is unfair that essentially Heracross is now weakened from that first battle, but continues on to battle a second one at less strength. There's also a fine line between what is the end of a battle and what is death. It's never really established.
But Heracross doesn't die, right? Unable to battle, is that just a euphemism for going to live upstate?
Yes, unable to live. No, it just means that's the thing. They're knocked out in the sense that they have no battle hit point stamina left, which works in a game, but then when you translate that to animated characters that are supposed to be like animals, it's hard to just like what is stopping this from being death? Is it the recovery? Like if he taken one more hit, would it kill him? It's just never.
Oh yeah, because you're saying when he gets to 0 points, that's like he can't fight anymore.
Yeah, but then what happens if he takes any more damage after 0? Is that when it becomes death? Because they do die. They have like there's a whole town in the first game that's like the spooky town, and there is a whole like cemetery building where people are like mourning the dead Pokemon.
Right, but we never see that in canon, right?
There are ghost Pokemon though, which is never really said whether they are the ghosts of Pokemon.
No, that's cop-out, but it's putting ghosts in, but never explaining how to become ghosts, right?
Yeah, they're just ghost Pokemon, so they're not even really ghosts. They just resemble what humans know to be ghosts. Is how I would explain it.
Clip 7.
And this is like right at the end. This is like the last few episodes of Ash's journey before they retired him in 2023 and moved on to a new character.
So actually after like what would it have been, 25 years or more, they just got a new person to be the main character. They've done loads of stuff where Ash wasn't the main character though, right?
I don't think so. They've not done that much. He's never the main character outside of this show, but they haven't done any other TV shows really until the last couple of years. And they would just change his companions every kind of like Doctor Who.
Right.
I think it was Brock and Misty for a little bit, then they swapped out Brock for Tracy because they were worried that American audiences would think Brock was a racist caricature.
Right. And then why is that?
His eyes.
Oh, right. Okay. Right.
And then they realised, so they got rid of Brock and brought in Tracy, but then very quickly, because of the time delay, they'd already done loads in Japan, brought in Tracy when they thought, Americans aren't going to like this. Realised that nobody had a problem with Brock whatsoever, so then got rid of Tracy again, brought Brock back. Then at some point got rid of Misty, so it was Ash, someone else, and Brock. and then got rid of Brock, so it was Ash and two other people, and then swapped them around for like years. But outside of those first 3 companions, I don't know any of them.
Right. Well, that in itself, companion cast.
Exactly.
Clip 7.
The Tracy cast.
Pokemon Journeys episode 143 from 2023. Ride Lapras Ride. Oh, look at that animation! Like we have upscaled massively, and it's very, very digital. And now we've got Ash with Heracross.
Yeah, I hate the way they look in these particular.
Very
Like they
pixelated.
redesigned the characters,
Right.
not just the animation. Like they completely redesigned the style of the faces.
Well, yeah, you've got the big, much more anime eyes, right? And yeah, so
Yeah.
this is Misty. She's come back, has she? And she's got what one of the duck ones.
Indeed, one of the many duck ones. Yeah, Missy and Brock came back towards the very end. So there's like
Right.
5 or 6 episodes at the end that just show, like going back through the history. So that's why Heracross is in them, basically.
But
They wanted to
Heracross
show.
is hugging, and it's actually they're at sea and they're fighting and they're being hugged. And let me watch this clip because it makes no sense. You've got a split screen. They're both being held by their Pokemons and tossing their fishing lines into the mouth of a giant whale. Yeah, I guess they're working together. Lift this Pokemon while yet another duck tries to wedge the whale Pokemon out of the leg. And yeah, that's a very badly designed Ash.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yep, so they pop the whale out and comedically it's going to land on them.
We did it!
It's a classic. You can't go wrong. It looks like they've succeeded until they realize, oh, gravity.
Yes, that doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen. But anyway, so yeah, so
What in fact happens is the whale goes down into the ocean, like into the cave. It successfully lands in the cave underneath, but then it got so excited it evolves into a much bigger whale that then gets trapped in the cave, and they must free it from the cave.
that's a good story.
I think they just wanted to show off some of his older Pokemon that haven't been around for a while.
Right.
So that's what the giant crab is also one of his first catches.
What's that deal where like Heracross is like holding him and like he's not actually fighting? What's the deal with that?
They're just trying to free the whale from being stuck, so they're just trying to use force to pull.
All right.
So he's more. I mean, they can be utilized to help as well as fight each other. A lot of them have jobs in this world, like a lot of construction, etc.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of. It's more in the game. Oh no, yeah, there's quite a lot in the show as well. But there's a level of harmony between species where, yeah, they kind of work and contribute to society. But then some of them are just animals that live in the woods.
Like the Fraggles.
Exactly, just like the Fraggles.
We got some bonus stuff, some hungry Heracrosses and some cute stuff, so let's have a gander at this.
Heracross sucking the sap from all the trees around his
Sucking the sap from
place.
the tree.
Heracross is so powerful after sucking sap out of my tree.
Okay, so there's a lot of references to Heracross sucking sap out of the trees.
Yes, this is trait. This is one trait.
Okay, but he doesn't like it when the other bugs do it, right?
He's fairly greedy.
Stealing my sap.
Yes, but it seems like that makes it look like it is all the Heracross who do it, not just this one specific one.
Yeah, I guess it's a trait across the entire species, which makes it a bit more acceptable. And so Pinchy is his enemy, is that right?
It seems like it in this episode, but it's not. It could just be these two clusters of them, not species-wide rivalry.
No, because they're both after the sap.
Yes.
Lots and lots of clips of Heracross attempting to slurp up some scissor.
I also can't remember what the song is. I made the song, but I do not remember what it is.
Well, you made it.
Yeah, it's a Suno song, but I can't remember what the translated lyrics are.
Brilliant. I think, well, she's talking about Heracross, and that's the only bit I can get. So you got this from somewhere because he's saying Satoshi, not Ash, right? Which is the Japanese name of the character. And
I just Google translated.
Ah, yeah. So
It was Suno'd it. Like these clips of what I was talking about earlier, where they're all just members of Ash's team or other people who Oak looks after.
right.
And so they just sort of all hang out together at the lab. Like he was
The lab
excited
is just
to
a big
see
field.
Bulbasaur. Essentially, yeah, he has a lab and then he just has open acres of fields for them to live in.
All right,
So
it's
it's the
all very
best
sweet.
possible way of saying this creature is not just cramped in a ball until the next time you need it.
Yeah, it's interesting that the majority have only one or two, but then you get some like these little
Right,
blue
so
ones. What are they called?
Oddish.
Oddish. There's loads of them.
Yes, indeed, and there's two of his Taurus.
Two of his many Taurus. There's a third just popping in.
Right. There's a fourth one.
I mean, utilizing his wings and his flying power to carry him around would have obviously been a good thing, right?
Yeah, there's some transport-based Pokemon, but I don't think he's powerful enough to like fly, whereas some of them you could just use as planes.
Yeah, something about him protecting people and evolving and possibly kissing or sucking
It might
things
just-
out of a tree.
It's very likely that it's just the Wikipedia entry for Heracross.
It's almost certainly.
Yes.
Getting lots of images of Heracross being absolutely battered, and then
Yes.
one he actually sees the next world. Diglett.
Real
Is it
damage can be done.
Pokemon Heaven.
Very likely. Which also implies a Pokemon Hell. But again, Pokemon God, so
Right. Who is the Pokemon God?
he's called Arceus.
They got those big ones, right? That they introduced, those giant, huge, mega Pokemons.
Yeah, they get very mythological with it
Oh yeah.
later on. But they had Mew in the early days, who was supposed to be the ancestor of every single Pokemon. But then they
Right.
went further with it and started bringing in, like, this Pokemon created the universe. So it is God.
That's some wild shit.
You just catch it in a game. Catch it in a game and leave it in a computer if you want to.
There's just one?
There's one per game.
Right, one God
It's
per
just-
game.
Yes, but you could easily with the transfer situations, you could have a team of 6 in one game if you transferred 5 over.
So anyways, generally sucking up sap and fighting against Pokemon, living in the smoke. And thank you, Heracross. And that is
Indeed.
let's do some art, and you can tell me if it's too much art, because there's like absolutely billions of Heracross art that I liked. Here's only the Heracross art that I liked. So here's the first one, made by me, not me, but by me, smiley face.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just a straight up, like, well rendered Heracross.
Yeah, there's going to be a heck of a lot of art. I'd say Heracross is probably the most art-based character, definitely from the Stars of Stage and Screen,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
but also probably from all the characters we've ever looked at.
More
Again,
than Bart Simpson.
it's possible. He's very, very popular in a lot more countries.
Yeah. Well, here's an evolution, and I wasn't sure how much it was original artwork and how much it was the actual evolution.
Oh no, he has no evolution, so it is.
But there's a mega
Okay.
Heracross.
There
That's a real thing.
as we mentioned minutes ago or weeks ago.
But yeah. Stop me if there's nothing to say.
I will. I was just briefly trying to find something to send you that was unrelated.
Good.
Well, no, it's not unrelated. In fact, it's very related.
Highly related.
I think it's fine. It's a very nice piece of art, both of them. I do like the baby Heracross, and I would call it something like Crossy.
Babby Cross.
However, I will say that the evolution takes him a bit too far away from what he is supposed to be. Like, I think the horn and the body need to be somewhat retained. Not that they can't. Some of them do completely change into something entirely different, so it's not unbelievable. I think I would just like to see a different way of doing this. Like, what kind of bigger beetle would this beetle evolve into, essentially?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to stay as I forgot what beetle he is.
Some sort of stag beetle, right?
Yes, let's go for that. So to change him into like a large cockroach or something awesome would have been, whereas this kind of looks like a lot of pre-existing bug Pokemon, aka Scyther.
Pretty generic, but I like the devolution.
Yes, the baby one is very cute.
Yeah.
And I like that. I'm a fan of that idea, to be honest.
That's not something you see though, is it? That many Pokemon are devoluted back to the previous style.
It's not something you see every day. Yeah, they kind of do it sometimes where it's more of a retcon than a de-evolution.
Right. Yeah.
It's including Pikachu himself.
But he turned into just Chew, right?
Pichu.
Pichu.
But Pichu did not exist in the first 150. There's quite a few babies that they introduced in the second lot.
Right.
and they're saying like, "Oh, you just hadn't seen them evolve into this before."
Which is fair enough,
So,
but Pichu is clearly not a different Pokemon. They didn't try and play that, did they?
no, they said literally like, "Oh, this Pikachu evolves from something you just didn't know that before."
I think that's legit because we're not going to know everything, right?
Indeed, I think
Acceptable.
that's fine, and I would rather them do that and not really care too much than just not introduce these cool
Oh, yeah.
new baby characters like baby Clefairy.
Baby Clefairy, of
Acceptable.
course. What about this one? Heracross
King.
in Monster Hunter. So this is King Heracross Horn Beetle, a powerful Nephron.
Zach Nefron.
Feeds on the honey in the Union Forest and has grown large and powerful to fight Aureus, the complete fought the golden nectar.
I love it. I love it very much. In fact, I would have that be the third evolution I was just talking about moments ago to the original, to that triad. I would have this be the final form of Heracross. Because it
Monster
still
Hunter's
retains,
huge, right? Go on.
it just retains quite a lot of cuteness, but yet still has the clear change that is required for evolution to show that it has somehow become better or stronger, which is kind of the point.
Yeah, Monster Hunters is very popular, but I don't know anything at all about it.
No, I've
Zero.
never heard of it before.
Really? Oh, it's
No.
huge in Japan. It's definitely one of the biggest games. Might have a
Oh,
different
yes,
name
no.
in English. It's Capcom. So like it's not small.
Fortnite.
No, it's not called
Is it,
Fortnite.
is it adjacent? Is it Fortnite adjacent?
No, nothing tall. It's well older than that. Monster Hunter game must be like 20 odd years old.
Many people say it's the Fortnite of Japan.
2004, so it's 20 odd years old. It's huge. Monster Hunter. Yeah.
Nice. No, I seem to have managed to entirely avoid this series.
It's sort of generic, which is the point, really. That I don't know anything about it other than that you hunt monsters, and I'm not even sure if that happens.
No, which again is the exact premise of what we're looking at now.
Yes, we're not
So I
hunting
see-
them in the same sense. You're kind of like acutely capturing them, right, and putting them in your pocket monster.
Yeah, not hunting them for meat.
No.
Which there are poachers within the world of Pokemon, so that is a job
Right.
that is taken. And there are fishermen, etc. So there are people out there with the goal of capturing and killing. It's just that we don't really focus on them too often
In this children's cartoon.
in this children's cartoon. But there's clearly room for a crossover there, and I do very much enjoy what they did with that Heracross.
The Monster Hunter one, yeah, it doesn't even seem
Yes.
like it was particularly a Monster Hunter style, because that's more Capcom, and they, like you said, they kind of kept the cuteness of the Pokemon style.
It's a good mashup, and I would
Right,
be,
this one?
if they released that as a Heracross evolution, I would not be flipping any tables.
No.
I would be completely on board. Like it, this is, again, he's super easy to play into the cuteness of, and they, not really as much in the early days, but they definitely push sort of gender differences after a generation or two. So the female Heracross, I believe, has a different shaped horn that is more heart-shaped.
Right.
And a shiny Heracross, as I believe we discussed, is pink.
Yes. So
Just a slightly rarer, essentially like race in our world.
yes, but not a hot topic. So the smart thing is that you make your normal character, then you commit an evolution and a baby version and a female version and a shiny version. Like, hey, we now got 5 times as many characters without any.
And a mega.
Yeah, but the megas without literally any effort, which I am all on board for, because you always end up with some really wacky stuff coming out of that. I mean, obviously many of them are very, very generic, like let's just do a baby one, but when you just make like all of them into babies, you like something weird will happen to one of them that you never expected. Now you've got like the best baby character ever.
Indeed, and I do like it when they go off on slight trajectories where it isn't, there is quite a distinct change, even though I just argued against that minutes ago for Heracross.
Oh yeah.
But no, this is a cute one. It's fine. It's
Fine,
lovely,
isn't it?
I would say.
Lovely.
I
Not
don't
as
know
cute
why
as this one though.
No, it's super cute. I don't know why the other Heracross is giving like store-bought flowers as opposed to just flowers from a tree.
Well, he might have wrapped it in some bark.
That's true.
Could be.
It's
could be.
it's worth noting that Heracross is the species as well, so it's hard to we focus specifically on the Heracross that Ash owned, but each Heracross has its own thing going on, and some of them are pink, some of them are boys, some of them are girls. So It's a character. You could bring in a Heracross every episode if you wanted to, and it could be a different Heracross with a different personality.
Yeah, of
And that
course,
would
right?
still make sense.
It would still make sense. But while they don't do that very often, like again, going back to Star Wars, they'll introduce a species, but it's not super common, at least in the films. In the spin-offs and stuff, of course, much more, but they generally have like one character from each species
Yes, and
that's
then
like well known and famous, right?
indeed, and then if they are struggling, they will also do a baby version.
No chance.
I think that's exactly what they did.
It is exactly what they're doing, but not because they were struggling. That was because they had so many ideas. That was just the next on the list.
So
Very good.
too many ideas.
Too many ideas. It was just the next on the list of very good ideas. What about if we do a different Boba Fett, but with a baby Yoda?
Exactly.
But as long as we get Pedro Pascal to play all the characters, we're into a winner.
Exactly. Just make sure he doesn't grab your face.
Jeez Louise. How about this one?
Face grabber.
Super quick. Is he a face grabber?
He seems to just, whenever he's doing public press interviews, he seems to have to be physically touching someone, and a lot of time it includes face stroking and grabbing.
Who does? Yoda? Or
Pascal.
Pascal?
No, I believe Yoda is either CGI rendered or a doll.
Are you sure you're not thinking of
Heracross.
Yes, I think so. I think they're both tarred with the same brush. No, that's not true at all.
not at all?
Heracross.
Absolutely normal, respectable man as of recording this.
Here's a shovel. Let's start digging
Indeed.
into the goodness of
Heracross.
our new spin-off. But first of all, let's have a look at Kawaii Baby Heracross, because fan art is what keeps me regular.
Precisely. Yeah, it's cute. Yeah, they've just gone with the very easy. It's like the little stickers. What's the guy called with that mouth
Yeah,
in Japan? Is
Mickey.
it just or like the mascots that you get everywhere
Oh yeah, that's right.
for
Yeah,
each prefecture?
yeah,
But yeah, the eyes and the mouth are very reminiscent of just like the print club stickers, etc. That
yeah.
traditional Japanese kawaii.
Well, if
But
you're
it
looking,
works very well.
it works
It's
very well.
very
And
cute.
if you're looking for generic fan art,
This is the place.
but not this one. This one's very cool, and it's by Cosmic Wabbit, and it's again Lady Ash with 3 kawaii Heracrosses.
Indeed, Heracross. Yeah, she seems quite happy with these. I imagine it's an image of herself with 3 Heracross, which, what a day. One of them being female. There's the horn reference I mentioned
Oh yeah,
slightly
absolutely.
earlier.
Last week.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a lot going on in these images other than it being a person in Heracross. There's not really any
Narrative.
external context, like they're not doing anything
Oh.
and they're not really in a place. But I like the style.
What does that tell us? That literally Heracross has nothing interesting about them other than looking like a cute bug.
Exactly, but is also very sweet.
Very
And that
sweet.
only applies to the Heracross that we know Ash to own.
Yeah, we
The
don't know
rest
about
of
the
them might
others.
be
That's that.
Bellens. The rest of them might be Bellens. We don't know.
Exactly. Isn't that already a Pokemon?
Yes,
Bellends.
exactly.
Iron Rush Heracross Future Paradox.
Yeah, I
What's
think
that
I
mean?
might have briefly mentioned this at some point in this episode, but some of the later Pokemon come from other dimensions,
Oh,
or
yeah.
from like really far in the future or the past.
Yeah, alternate
I think,
timelines.
yeah, so I think this is one of those examples of this is Heracross having lived for, like thousands and thousands of years and
Yeah.
natural evolution as opposed to Pokemon evolution.
Forced evolution that the Pokemon
Yes.
trainers make them do.
Indeed.
They can't unevolve though, right?
They cannot unevolve once again for the second or maybe even third time in this episode.
Just a goofy
That's
looking.
great.
Yeah.
That's the kind of art I want. I want it to be changed somewhat so you can see a
Goofy.
style present.
Goofy-esque Heracross. Yeah, it's into some kind of fan art where like Ash or whoever it is hiking. Maybe the guy who drew it, MCG Mark, is hiking with Heracross and some others.
Indeed. These are the kind of images I like the most, I'd say, where they're in depicting what would kind of be happening in the real world of Pokemon. Like people exploring with their buddies is quite nice, and I like that Heracross has his bag. And I do like there's quite a lot of art out there of just like scenes of like nature scenes. It's there's quite a lot of imagery that involves, and I do like it when you see a lot of Pokemon in one image being friends.
Being friends, right?
There's quite a nice idea that different species of Pokemon become friends.
And not just because they're the same type.
No, just it can be down to whatever. I
Down
do
to
like
what?
the idea of the 6 Pokemon that you have on your team
Hmm.
having to form a bond because they are now essentially tied to each other is good too.
They never have to fight together, though, right? They never have to be like form a team and fight as one.
No. And sometimes you can do like double fighting.
Indeed.
All right, those guitars that are double guitars.
This is just a bit scary. Scary version of Heracross.
Indeed. Slim.
Hmm.
It's again a fine take. I like that there's some abstractions to it. I like that it sort of has 2 sets of eyes as well, but the other ones are like fake.
Yeah, like a real
distraction
beetle.
eyes, like what real bugs have.
Hmm.
It's super cool. I like it. This
You know,
again, I
bugs are
could
like the oldest animals on the planet.
exactly. They aren't. Look,
Bugs
that's
and
5
viruses.
chickens. Heracross goofball. You'll remember that.
I don't give a shit. All right. This is like a 3D mech by Rodrigo Sales. That's his name, Rodrigo Sales. He's not trying to sell you something, although he
Oh,
is trying
I
to.
thought it was a verb.
He is trying to sell you this, but that's not connected. Yeah, so it's kind of like a 3D rendering of a Heracross type mech. They're called mechs, right?
Yes, or Autobots, if you will. Yeah, just a Transformer Heracross with a sort of weird set of abs.
Mike Chang's abs.
Another Heracross fool. That's all it's done.
What about this one? Heracross Goofball.
It's beautiful. It looks like it's been drawn from the heart.
It has.
It's got the colour scheme right.
Yeah.
So it knows its basic information. Candy covered shite.
Yeah, it's good. Moving on. What about this one?
Yeah,
It's a bug
fine.
ghost. You don't like that?
No, I do like it. This is something that I like the idea of, which I think we've also already discussed, which is changing the type. Seeing what a Pokemon would look like as a different type.
Yeah,
So it
damn
retains
right.
its stance and it retains what makes it that Pokemon, but things have to change to make it fit into the type it now is.
It's not a bad
So
idea.
It's cool. I like that he's got a little shovel instead of a horn for possibly grave digging, etc. I like that
Is that a grave type?
it is a ghost type from the looks of things. And according to that writing at the side, one of its horns has also been cut off, which is interesting and probably is to add to some kind of story lore.
Like Hellboy.
Exactly, just like Delboy through the chandelier.
Oh god, it's gone again. I bet this Heracross looks very creepy, actually.
I'm not trying to show. Yeah, that is very creepy. Goes to show what a good set of eyes can do for a character, basically, doesn't it? Because that is really the only big change there, other than making the round lines and less sort of like the hairs sticking off his arms and stuff add to the creepiness and make it more bug-like.
Absolutely. It's like Jeff Goldblum in The Fly too.
Exactly, just like Jeff Goldblum in Wicked.
Is he in Wicked?
Yes, he's the Wicked.
He's the wizard, isn't he? I
the
remember
man
that.
witch.
Jeffrey Goldblum, the man witch.
Exactly, flip it around, Wicked Witch.
The witch wicked.
Indeed, yeah. This again, another good. I would take this happily as the evolution. These are the things I look for in an evolution, which is just sort of slightly bigger and changed a little bit.
He's got a nice beefy kind of look because he's so beefy, but his arms and legs have, if anything, got smaller.
Yes, little teeny tiny arms and legs. And I think there's just something about the eyes and that mouth that they really are the only thing standing between Heracross being adorable and sort of not look atable.
No, the creepy, but that's the whole thing with the Beatles generally, right?
Yeah, Ringo had his moments though.
He did. Peace and love, peace and love. Only 25 more. A very gloopy, shiny Heracross, glooping all over a Pokeballs.
Yeah, very cute, shiny. Don't know what the Pokeball is. There's also loads of different types of Pokeball.
Oh yeah, but this Pokeball, this is a Heracross style Pokeball, because that really would have been better than to just have a generic one, but to have essentially their own themed Pokeball.
Yeah, it should really. The second that Pokemon inhabits that Pokeball and it becomes theirs, it should change into something like this. I agree. I think this is a great idea, and I would like to see a wide variety of these as different Pokemon, which I assume is what he's done.
I'm assuming that's what Heracross Etsy, I believe the name of this artist is.
Oh yes, I've heard of her.
He has his own site and he makes all kinds of art, most of it horrible. But this, brilliant.
Yes, easy to throw as well.
Very easy to throw, but not easy to put in your pocket.
No, that is true, but they leave them in your bag. It's fine.
Lady, last one. A lady Pokemon. If ever you could believe such a thing could happen.
Indeed.
Lady Heracross girl.
Venturing back into mod territory here with this camel toe Heracross.
One has to dream. Com4 CP4445/6 D3R3KM for Affinity has just dreamed up a Pokegirl of his dreams.
Indeed, it's exactly what you'd expect from probably Tumblr.
Com4 CP4445/6.
It is also much similar to the Pokeball thing we just looked at. It is what would all the Pokemon look like with tits is the question being asked and answered here for one of them.
And I imagine that Com4 is still answering it to this day and is up to maybe number 700 at this point.
Exactly.
He's got it, but it is a face-forward Pokemon, which is not uncommon.
Yes, a face-forward Pokemon is fairly, utilised within the show. Also, the head, I like that they've just given it a kind of human-shaped head, as opposed to Heracross's shaped head.
Yeah, well, you know what? If you're going to take liberties, go wild.
Indeed.
Why not put some short shorts and a crop top on Heracross?
On Heracross, who is normally wearing nothing.
Well,
if anything, this has given Heracross slightly more dignity.
Well, more than a Lady Heracross with no clothes on would have. So thankfully, that's one thing you've got.
Precisely. I said, what about tits on a Heracross?
Well, anyway, little Pokemon Sketch 3 reveal. Oh, so anyway, 2620, it wasn't a Pokemon, it was just Peep, our pet, a space pet in a little suit. A little suit designed to look like a blue sap-obsessed bug fighting Pokemon, existential dread reaching critical mass.
Unnamed blue sap-obsessed bug fighting Pokemon. I'm just going to adjust this tiny cardboard horn, but why the Heracross suit Peep? Was it because that's who we're focusing on this week? Did he feel undressed for the cosmic lattice?
Analysis complete. The suit is emitting a low frequency psychic signal. It is specific distress signal for the desired consumption of dazzling honey. Subject Peep is displaying classic cosmic pet loneliness syndrome and seeking comfort in a powerful yet polite persona. Unbelievable. We almost blew up the Cryo Bay because our ethereal cloud pet had a weird little bug fighting fantasy. The mods were less dramatic than this.
Yes, do you think Chatbot's favourite word is frequency or cosmic? It's definitely one of those two. At least we know what the little guy wants, don't we, Peep? D7, reroute course, new destination, nearest sector with dazzling honey, or a very confused Bulbasaur adjacent star system.
I just hope this cosmic frequency Bulbasaur appreciates the attention. Rerouting course, setting reminder, purchasing tiny helmet for future Pokemon or excursions. Did you misspell the term when writing the prompt? No. Also noted Heracross has zero social awareness regarding sap consumption. Perhaps Peep is just method acting.
Peep! Well, 15 or 26, whichever one you are. The containment field is clear and the ship is safe for now. I don't know from what, but it is. That's all the tech scouting we have time for. Join us next time for more spoilers.
Bum ba bum 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 ba bum ba 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 bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum ba 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 bum.
Ron and Todd will be Heracrosses too.
That's right.
I have a brief quiz.
Yeah, give me a second. Be thinking about it. Be prepping it.
It's prepped.
All right, hit me.
Oh yes, first actually.
Yeah.
Dear Diary, today was stupid, brilliant, sticky, loud, and 100% Heracross's fault. We woke up at... I asked it for swearing, and I've not read this yet. We woke up at the crack of arse because someone decided sunrise was the perfect time to start headbutting trees like a feral gym bro. I hadn't even opened both eyes before wham, George Michael was there. Sap everywhere, my hair, my bag, my dignity. Heracross just stood there buzzing like, yeah, I did that. Absolute menace. We went into the forest and it got worse, brackets better. Heracross kept picking up logs and throwing them like it was auditioning for Pokemon Just Strongman. At one point it lifted a tree that I swear had been there since the dawn of time and then looked at me like, you impressed yet? Mate, yes. Terrified but impressed. Then it found sap. Oh my god, sap. Suddenly nothing else in the world mattered. It was slurping the stuff like a kid with a Capri Sun, making these disgusting happy noises, getting it all over its horn. I beg your pardon. My shoes, my hands, everywhere, I said. Careful, and it just buzzed louder. Which I think translates to fuck off, this is delicious.
Good lord.
By mid-afternoon, we collapsed by a stream. Heracross lay flat on its back, legs in the air like a toppled table, buzzing softly, absolutely knackered. I skipped stones. One bounced once. Heracross snorted sap out of its nose, laughing. Cheers, mate. On the walk home, everything was quiet and golden for about 5 minutes. Then it gently headbutted my shoulder and nearly sent me into a bush. Not aggressive, just enthusiastic. I told it was a dickhead. It buzzed happily. No battles, no heroics, just me and my giant beetle best friend, causing low-level property damage and having a bloody great time. Wouldn't change a fucking thing. Helen is a bitch.
Well, Dudley Moore giggles.
Is this made for kids? YouTube will ask me when I upload this. No, I will answer. Here's your quiz.
All right, bring it on.
Burmy.
Burmy is
Oh, sorry, I didn't tell. The quiz is British village or Pokemon.
British village. Burmy is a British village.
Incorrect. It is a Pokemon. Grassington.
Clearly a British village.
Indeed. Dedham. Dedham. Like Deadham.
Village.
Indeed. Chinchou.
Village.
On Swinub. Swinub.
Oh, that's Pokemon.
Indeed. Tainmouth.
It's pronounced I used to know someone who lived in Taymouth. I believe music from Taymouth, and I believe it's pronounced Tane.
Pokemon.
Is it?
No. Cloverly.
Cloverly. That's a village.
It is. Magby.
Magby is also a village.
Wrong. It is
Village?
a Pokemon.
Oh, Pokemon.
Mankey.
That's a Pokemon.
Indeed. There's my list of things. Upper Slaughter.
Oh yes, please. That's definitely a Pokemon's.
Bibbery. It was not a Pokemon. It was
Right.
which I think. Bibbery.
Biberry is a Pokemon.
Incorrect. And lastly, Smoliv.
Smoliv. Smoliv's a Pokemon. Has to be.
It does have to be. Applin. Last one.
Oh yeah. Applin's a village.
Applin is a Pokemon.
No way.
Indeed, it is just a small apple.
Ooh. Is it called Appley?
Applin.
Appley Bridge. Appley was.
Exactly. Applin was.
That's right. What's going on here? Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
Is it because you're on V5?
Or does that? Oh, it's doing that, isn't it?
Aye.
There we go. PC.
I realise if you go to V3, it'll do covers as well.
All right, but worse, right? Worse versions.
Yeah, but like the ones I was doing anyway for like the cast characters where I just changed one lyric in the song to their name.
Right. Yeah.
Which is why I did Living Next Door to Alice for Pamphlets.
Nice. All right, this is the outro music.
Heracross は受注の100倍のもったいな持ち上げることができます Heracross can lift objects 100 times its own weight舞台とスクリーンのスター収益をシップスコに飲み舐めている間に眠ってしまうこともあります It treats up obsessively and may fall asleep while licking it 舞台とスクリーンのスターヘラクロス羽はあるものの飛ぶのはとても苦手です Despite having wings It is very bad at flying 舞台とスクリーンのスターヘラクロスの巣は十字の角を持っていますメスはハート型をしていますメリーヘラクロス have a cross shaped horn Females have a heart shaped one舞台とスクリーンのスターヘラクロス目がヘラクロスの腕は突き口を開き さらなる飼い離します。目がHeracross arms open like vents for extra power release。舞台とスクリーンのスターHeracross。怒ったりドクロを折ったりするとあのハルクみたいに強くなる。It gets stronger when angry or poison like the fucking Hulk lad。舞台とスクリーンのスターHeracross。草タイプのポケモンの樹液を直接飲むことがある。It sometimes drinks sap directly from grass type Pokémon。舞台とスクリーンのスターHeracross。種類では岩を使った腕立て伏せを呼ぶ。意に沿い It performs push-ups using boulders。舞台とスクリーンのスターHeracross。光る小石を集めてトロフィーとして隠します。It collects shiny pebbles and hides them as trophies。舞台とスクリーンのスター。都市伝説によれば自動販売機をスープレックしようとしたという。Urban legends claim it tried to suplex a vending machine。舞台とスクリーンのスター。足が寸本血まみれになっているエミューを見たことがありますか。丸まった靴下の破片が入ったカサカサした汚い足の爪。ビッグフィッシュなり安らかに眠れ。あなたをサラウィガムにするために今日何をしましたか。それはくちばしではありません。それは足の血まみれのヘラクロスキャストです。それはくちばしではありません。それは足の血まみれのヘラクロスキャストです。それはくちばしではありません。それは足の血まみれのヘラクロスキャストです。それはくちばしではありません。それは足の血まみれのヘラクロスキャストです。ヘラクロスの声は君シコクワさんがカウントしているのも注目目です。くちばしじゃないよ、足だよ、コニシコです。ヘラクロス is voiced by cats。 そういう聞きにし Is it too late to mention that？
Plenty. I loved it. It was beautiful and brilliant. But I can see we've got lots of things to work on as we move through the next 1,486 Pokemon.
Oh, indeed.
Indeed. Wonderful. Anything else to say, or are we wrapping up?
I'm fine, but I was also going to try and find, but I don't know where it is on my laptop. But the video, the Christopher Walken video with the Fatboy Slim.
Oh yeah.
If you so happen to play the Pokemon Poké-Rap over that, it works quite well.
Perfect. It absolutely
Ideal.
is even better than the Wizard of Floyd.
Exactly, it is.
Perfect.
Almost as good as that the version. There's one of This Is America by Gambino. Is it so? And there's also a song by RuPaul called Kitty Girl.
Right.
And they just fit entirely in sync together.
So there's you know how there's the idea, isn't there, of Dark Side of the Moon with the Wizard of Oz, but people have done it with loads of other films, and so there's I think one's called Dark Side of the Blot, which is Paul Blart Mall Cop, and apparently like I listened to an episode where someone had done like 5 of these, and I think Dark Side of the Blot was the one that they realised synced up most with Dark Side of the Moon, better than Wizard of Oz, and
there is something to it where it does work. Like 9 times out of 10 it just works regardless of the situation, I think.
they came to the conclusion that the Dark Side of the Moon album itself has an arc, which
Indeed.
follows the arc of almost every story. But it's half as long, so you have to play it through twice, basically. So
Super slow.
Oh, super slow. Yeah. There you go. That extended discussion on Dark Side of the Moon. Now we're going to do a Pokemon series, right?
Indeed.
I think similar to the diary from whoever our cousins are. Wouldn't it be fun to have my day with Heracross or something? And it's just like a diary, but you got Heracross with you, or whatever Pokemon it is that week.
That would be fun, and it is something I would.
Catball can bang that in 2 minutes. Why don't you just do one now and edit it in right now?
Okay. Did you see the Tim Curry space one?
Mate, the Tim Curry one, which one's that?
Where he says space.
Oh yeah, where he says space.
Come on. There's just something very enjoyable about it. It's not related to anything.
Space!
Funny, what's that from?
I think it's from a game or something, which is
no, it's a movie. I've seen it. So is it not from Austin Powers?
No, it's from something really something really that he's just phoning in and doesn't mind laughing. And that was the take they decided to use.
Did he only do that bit?
I don't think so, but I'm pretty sure it's from a game. He's playing like a Soviet, and the accent, he just drops the accent as well.
How about this?
The way he laughs twice and then says space.
Heracross is voiced by Katsuyuki Konishibai.
All together now, stop.
Stands on a ledge of cold gray stone, with a circular brain like a chicken bone. He stares at a puddle for 45 minutes, thinking there might be a sandwich in it.
Fuck is that? No, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to try again, chatbot, because it misread my my prompt as Hercules and not Heracross.
Exactly.
I only mistyped 6 of the 8 letters.
He also seems to have decided that he's now chatbot is adding this character trait in the end song that Heracross is stupid.
I did.
Never been established.
I told her that it was.
Oh, well, that's incorrect.
Do you want it wouldn't be very funny though if he was smart. There's never been like a smart, funny guy, right?
Never. Young Heracross.
All right, burn with me.
He's got a horn like a literal tree. He could flip a truck or a boat at sea, but he's standing there with a blank dead stare, sucking the sap out of thin cold air. He's got bass, attack, but there's nothing but echoes inside of his stack. Heracross, you're a big blue tank. Your mind is a vault, but there's nothing in the bank. You're fighting tight, but you're scared of a breeze. You spend all day hugging honey-soaked trees. You got a massive, heavy-duty shell, but you tripped on a Geodude. He saw a Bulbasaur's flowery vine. He thought, finally it's time to dine. He tried to be the poor guy's head and got hit with a sleep powder instead. And now he's snoring in the middle of the route with a bit of a berry stack.